All right, y'all. Make it to YouTube.
Blues and R&B. I want to tell you about my friend, State Farm agent Larry C. Williams. Larry can help you with all of your insurance needs for your home, auto, and life. For fast and dependable service at a competitive price, make sure you give Larry a call at 773-379-9009. That's 773-379-9009. Or you can visit LarryCWilliams.com. Like a good neighbor, Larry C. Williams is here to help you with all of your insurance needs.
5, 4, 3.
It's time we had an uncomfortable conversation. A conversation about race, about crime, about politics, all about the things that divide us, so we can find the things that might unite us. That's what WVON's own Mays Jackson and Joe Walsh from AM 560 The Answer will do each week on their podcast.
All right, y'all. I'm ready. Let's get this thing cracking. It's the WVON Morning Show. It's your man, Maze Jackson. Last day from the studios on 87th Street. Sad, glad day. You know what I'm saying? How y'all feeling this morning? Take a moment, share the broadcast, and share the broadcast.
This is Reverend Dr. Otis Moss III at Trinity United Church of Christ, located at 495th Street on the south side of the town. We invite you to worship here at Trinity United Church of Christ. We have 3 worship services, 7:30 a.m., 7 a.m., and 6 p.m.
All right, y'all.
On WVON during our broadcast every Sunday at 6 p.m.
All right, y'all rocking with me? Let's get it cracking. Woohoo! Okay. What up, Stephanie? What up, Tiger? What up, Alonzo? What up, Sly? Sly, I need that water. I got what you dropped off, though, yesterday. What up, Dwight Henderson? What up, Alonzo Johnson? What's up, Quentin Lewis? What up, Denise Russell? What up, Stephanie? What up, Tiger? What up, Sly Townsend? What up, Clifton Pierce? What up, Carrie Joe Little? What up, Deborah? What up, Alicia Stratton? What up, Quentin Lewis? Shonda Sunshine? What up, Rhonda? 2 Rhondas, Bonner and Spry Payne. What up? Melvin D. Griffin, man, I've been appreciating your support. What up, Melissa? What up, Chad's mama? What up, Annette Word? What up, Shizon Howard? Y'all see my what's in it for the black people? All right, y'all, I'm ready to get this thing cracking. Y'all ready? Sonya brought donuts. Sonya be having a hookup. Who is going to the R&B concert tonight? I'm not. Ah!
WVON Morning Show. Call 773-591-1690.
Wake up. No more sleeping in bed. No more backwards thinking. Time for thinking ahead. The world has changed so very much. It's the last day, huh? Whoa. Oh, they done took the TVs off the walls. See that big hole? That used to be the TV. What up, Terrence? Damn, I mean, bro. Wake up, Chicago. Wake up, world. This is the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Mays Jackson, and you know what? Walking in right now is the former Cook County Board President, Todd Stroger. Todd, how you feeling this morning, man?
Good. Driving has ruined my schedule.
You know what,
I need
man?
to get back to walking.
See, man, I'm gonna tell you, I'm like, man, hold on. You know what? But you know what? When you see, driving makes you comfortable. Driving, you be like, oh, I got time.
Yeah.
I got time. You be looking at the clock. You be like, oh yeah. And in your space, are you here? You good?
No.
Okay, so Sonia, you might want to come on in the studio real quick, but it is the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Mays Jackson. That is the former Cook County Board President, Todd Stroger, sitting in with me. Also, you know what I gotta do if we're gonna do this, I gotta say what's up to the WVON Morning Show team, and to do that, I gotta say what's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom. Annette, I see you got your triceps popping. All right, it is. Annette, how you feeling this morning? Well, you know what? I am feeling a little sentimental. Just cause, you know, y'all, I looked up this morning, I came in the studio and there was no more TV on the wall. I mean, you know what it is, kind of a sentimental day, as I do believe that this is the last day we will be broadcasting from our 87th Street studios. And so I think about all the memories, but you know what? I think that even with the memories, I remember when they were on Kedzie. Yeah. So, I mean, times change, things change, and we are moving on up, but never out of the community.
That we're ever evolving.
Ever evolving. And think about where we're moving. Used to be, you think about this, you know what? We're going to talk about that a little bit more because I'm going to be a little sentimental. We're going to have us not a eulogy, but something at the end of the show. Now, I got to say what's up to the music conductor of the Soul Plane, Miss Sonia Escobar. Sonia, how you feeling this morning?
Looking around, I'm just noticing things, and I arrived to this family, my WVON family, right here on 87th Street, and I just...
You know what? I got my first start on air. The first time I was actually, no, I take that back. My first time on air was when Latrice Spann and Veronica Taylor and all of them had convinced Melody that we were going to have a hip-hop show on Sunday nights on WVON over on the Kedzie studio, so I got to go be part of that. Was it 15 or 1390? whatever it was the live, and you know what, I'm gonna have to go dig up the flyers because we had a show, and I remember them giving our first hip hop show. We thought we was doing it so big. We was in the studio like, man, can we all right, you know I gotta say what's up to Miss
1450, guys.
There it is, 1450.
1450.
1450. You know what?
Early for me, 1450.
Okay, now you know what? Gotta say what's up to Miss Sonia Tompkins. She is the super producer now of the WVON morning show. What's up? She got her.
The waving.
She's. Oh, y'all doing the wave? Is that what that was? Oh, like, Cyan, hasta la vista, baby. All right. You come with me. Hey, it is the WVON morning show, y'all. Let's get the soul plane up to 60,000 feet, and let's talk about some of the stuff that is going on. Did you all see the 4 people killed in Joliet? There was a boyfriend, a girlfriend, and 2 children. They called it a murder-suicide. That was tragic. I'd be like, but the babies though?
Yeah.
But the babies though. What the babies, you know that man, you know what? Just go do something else, bro. Go somewhere else. Hey, how about this one? Did you all know that Chicago is sinking? We've sunk 4 inches over the last 100 years. What does that mean for our kids? Will they be underwater? You know what? I know I read some of them.
What a start, man.
You know what? Well, good thing we're on the soul plane and we're at 50,000 feet. Look, let's get some traffic and weather, and we'll come back and maybe we'll get this thing back up in the air. We'll raise your spirits just a little bit. Hey, it's Maze Jackson, Ty Stroger. We'll be back.
More of the morning show with Vince Jackson coming up.
Hey, what's up, Paul B. Walker? He said, "Here."
I'm trying to learn how to share right now.
Good. Paul Walker says, hearing your station, your AM 1000 signal 1,000 miles away in Laramie, Wyoming.
Wow.
I wish you the best of luck in your new studios that I heard your morning host talking about. How about that, y'all? That was pretty cool. I work in radio too, so I understand the memories formed in the history and studios you've been at for a long time. Thanks, man. Wake up, everybody. Oh, wake up. Y'all know we got the Oh, did y'all see me on Windy City Live yesterday? Did you check me out on Windy City Live? Did y'all saw I gave Will Calloway a little? I think we put a little pressure on that Obama library, Obama Center.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I think we added a little spice to it yesterday. Yeah, but did y'all check it out? I had a good time on Windy City Live. I actually have a really good time with Val and Ryan.
Yeah, I was thinking, come on, man. I know you can get that name out.
Oh no, I was just getting a drink of coffee. Sophia came. It was funny to watch. Thank you. I tried. What up, Tamiko? What up, Mark Allen? Hear my voice. What up, Antonio? Thank you very much. What up, Desmond? Remember that movie like on BET when they had that show? Desmond. Did anybody see that clip of Tony Preckwinkle yesterday? I posted on my page. They asked her, okay, let me just play this. Let me just play this for y'all. Because I just need to hear if anybody else heard this the same way that I heard it. I was like, listen to this. Dang it, how do you make that? Dang it, how do you make that? I was like, listen to this. Dang it, how do you make that? Okay. Now, did anybody hear when she was on Chicago Tonight last night?
when I got elected alderman of the 4th Ward, I...
Okay, here you go. Listen to this.
Either way, on April 2nd, Chicago will have its first African-American woman mayor. Is there special meaning in that for you? You know, when I got elected alderman of the 4th Ward, I was the first woman elected to that office. When I got elected president of the county in 2010, I was the first woman elected to that office, so I've been breaking glass ceilings for a while.
Well, he asked you, were you proud of being, was it significant being African American? I felt like she went out of her way not to say African American or black, huh?
That's interesting.
Think about this. Listen to the question. Okay, like, because she's got to downplay the black, here, look.
Either way, on April 2nd, Chicago will have its first African-American woman mayor. Is there special meaning in that for you? You know, when I got elected alderman of the 4th Ward, I was the first woman elected to that office. When I got elected president of the county in 2010, I was the first woman elected to that office, so I've been breaking glass ceilings for a while.
Think about that. They asked you about being African American. That's when I be talking about that. People can't be scared to say black. See? If you deny us on Chicago tonight, what you gonna do? Did you hear that? Did that or was I overemphasizing that?
I think you got a point, and I think it shows that there has. I never thought there really was much empathy for the black plight as we have come through centuries of slavery, and we have different problems than other people as we've been shut out.
Before you go, staying on, going solo, with me up. Before you go, take me dancing tonight. I want to get that high. Yeah. The babe.
Doris Day. Yeah. I'm your fool. So cool. All right, that's enough of that.
Wake me up before you go. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. My background singer was Todd Stroger, as well as and the Sonias. Hey, y'all.
When that song came out, I thought, what a strange group.
And he was thinking Todd's fine. You know what though? Because all the ladies was loving them some George Michael and what was it? Andrew Ridge.
What was it, Ridgely?
Ridgely, yeah, Andrew Ridgely and George Michael, man. Wham! And remember they had those big old shirts with the big old wham, bam.
Yeah.
Man, I remember that. That was good old days, man. Remember?
And also they wore, what's that? Is that mascara? What's it? The eyeliner.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what. I wasn't even looking that close. But you know what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to hit some Careless Whisper at some point today then. Hey, it is the WVON Morning Show, Todd. We got to get through some of these headlines very quickly. Let me see what I got out here. All right. Illinois film industry generates $473 million in 2018. That is almost $500 million. Okay. So can I tell you? You know I hate to do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. You know who put this down? You know how this happened?
Of course not.
Okay. Well, the film industry, and I remember the film industry tax credit was a brainchild of then State Representative Ken Duncan and Randy Connor, who were very big. Not Randy Connor. Randy Crumpton. Attorney Randy Crumpton. They were huge, who just passed. They were huge film industry people, and they passed this tax credit and opened up the film office and blew Chicago up. Almost $500 million. That's one of those things nobody will ever know.
Yes. That was smart, if I remember, because I believe that Ken asked the speaker to start that committee.
Yes,
right.
And everybody was like, "Man, get your And now look here, a half a billion. You know, and it's funny because it literally is a $500 million. All of these films are here, and it was two black guys who came up with this idea for this film credit. And now you see Ram and all the movie stars walking around, and nobody even. I mean, Batman, Transformers. You think about all the movies that were filmed here.
Yes.
The reason that people come here to film is because of the tax credit. And I just think it's important for black folks to know, like when y'all was running people up out the office, right? Because I'm just thinking like how we do each other.
Well, Mace, it's funny. We do when I was at the county, we worked with this group, and they would take kids out fishing. So you know the county has all these lakes,
Mm-hmm.
and I went out and we were fishing with this guy. There was a white guy there, and he said, "Yeah, I do this with the group, but I'm actually some kind of member of one of the groups. I think he might have been an actor himself." And he said, we always have trouble in the suburbs trying to get things because it's hard to get permits, and they got small apartments, they don't have people. So I went to the county, and then I tried to put in our budget a line item to have a person who would work with the industry. Well, times were hard, they didn't want to do that. So Jonathan Winbush, my assistant, became that guy, and we used that position, or his position, to help them do things, how they go out in the suburbs and Winnetka and all that
Mhm.
stuff. So it was helped make it easier to get permits. It was fun.
See, man, I think that that goes to the point of when I tell people that you need government affects you from you need a birth certificate to get in here and a death certificate to get out.
That's right.
And everything in between the government regulates. And so many times people don't understand that whether it's the film industry and they need a permit, whether it's a music company, some kind of way they interact with government.
Real quick,
Go ahead.
Snead puts in the paper, Stroger's office is raided because he sniffs for bugs, and the FBI is upset. You know what it turned out to be?
What? A movie filming?
They were filming in the office, and they do it at night, and they were leaving, and somebody said, "Uh-oh, that's the FBI."
See how they do? See how black people get done, man? See, Todd, you just got a raw deal. You just had a raw deal, bro. All right, look. Did you see they let the air out of the golden parachute? You know what? I actually like the Park District Chief, Mike Kelly. He tries to do his thing, but he came under fire after signing a 3-year golden parachute contract that the Park District Board approved without apparently Mayor Emanuel's knowledge. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
I
mayor.
used to work at the Park District, and I was an assistant to the CFO. And yeah, I mean, back in those days, and that was in the early 90s, everything went through the mayor's office.
Right. Like everything still goes through the mayor's office. They knew what time it was. That's all right, man. Hey, Mike, I ain't tripping, man. I know. I would have tried to lock my job down, too. These dang on news media people, rats. All right. Hey, shout out. Bernie Sanders will be in Chicago on Sunday. Did you know he went to college?
Feel the burn?
Yeah, I'm not gonna feel the burn, man. I'm turning the channel, man. This dude, I'm about tired of these 90-year-olds running. No disrespect. We need some new ideas. How about they approved yesterday the police and fire training facility in spite of opposition of Lori Lightfoot and Tony Preckwinkle. Ain't nobody on the west side trying to stop their project, so two of them can stop them. Israeli?
I've always said, because to be honest with you, Tony Preckwinkle came to me when I was kind of board president and said, "We want you to sit down and do nothing." And I was like, no, I got a job, and I'm not going to do it.
Right. What about her job she need to be doing right now?
Because of you.
How about you do your job that we elected you to do right now? How about that? All right. Israeli Prime Minister to be indicted, apparently. Martha Stewart gets into the cannabis business.
Now, this does not surprise me.
What?
Well, Martha Stewart and her best buddy Snoop, this is going to work out fine for her.
Hey, man, I'm going to tell you, the day I interviewed Snoop, he had just showed me the cookies she was baking, and he was letting me know that everybody's getting in on the game.
Mm-hmm.
How about this one? How about J.B. Pritzker made news by doing nothing? And when I say that, I say he made the news by saying he's not going to endorse Tony or Lori Lightfoot. That, my friend, should be a very telling sign, considering how much money and resources they traded with Tony Preckwinkle in him getting elected. That is a huge signal. He said he won't make a decision, and he looks forward to working with whoever is going to be the mayor. Now, was she one of the people that stood up for him? When she endorsed him the day after he did his colorful, least safe Negro comment, and said that people were misguided or something to that effect. And you see how the white folks do you? See, now they backing away.
Yeah.
Slowly backing away, just like those North Side committeemen. But when we come back, I'm going to ask, there's an elephant in the room that nobody wants to address. Well, guess what? When we come back on the social media question of the day, I'm going to address it. We'll talk about it when we come back after traffic, news, and the weather. Why are you smiling, Todd?
I'm not sure what the elephant is, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be big and pink or purple. It's going to shine.
All right, so for real, y'all. Hold on, I'm going to talk to the people. I'm going to tell somebody to go get that piece for me.
All right. Yep. I want to see what the elephant is. I'm interested. I'm not sure. There's so much stuff going on. This is such an interesting cycle when you get into a runoff for mayor, and I'm pretty sure whatever Mays talks about, it will probably have something to do with that mayor's race. I can't see what else it could be. I wonder if it has anything to do with the similarities of the ladies, because it's hard to tell who's going to be different than the other character. True, the only thing I can see so far is neither one of them really has any real black presence. They're trying to figure out how do they get it. Somebody said the other day, Tony doesn't really have a presence in her campaigns. Her presence has been Al Kindle, but it's just that one man, and that's not a true presence. And I think they're right. Yep. But as we've been speaking of, like all week, there really needs to be somebody who is respected political operative. And I know things change all the time. You can never say things are going to stay the same. And so I'm trying to push Mays in that space. But Mays wants to be a broadcaster, communicator, media type. Nothing wrong with that. But there are so many elections. There's so much money. There's so many people who are hired. And every once in a while, man, we got to have somebody who sees our concerns and sees us as productive in these spaces. Yeah, I remember Perry asked once, do we have enough black teachers? Well, no, we ain't got enough black nothing. So we need to find a way to move into the space. We need people who are talented and know what they're doing. I've always seen some people out in these campaigns who just decide one day I'm going to be a campaign operative, and somebody pays them, they get nothing for it. And there's plenty of people who know what they're doing. The whole thing is,
There's not plenty of people who know what they're doing. I think that they have drained.
oh no, there are people who, when I say that, I mean there are people who run campaigns in people's organizations, and they know how to do it.
Oh yeah.
But they never get anywhere past that organization.
And the other problem is because a lot of times, once that guy is in an organization, the organization, particularly black organizations, don't invest in the toolbox, right? So like, I'll give you an example. Joe Moreno, I know he's gone now, but he was like the first person I see to do text alerts to people to tell them when the snowplow was coming and the street sweeper was coming. Sign up for text for text to get alerts to tell you when street sweeping and snowplows and don't get a ticket. Well, everybody signed up for that, and now Joe Moreno has added a CRM, a customer relationship management system. So he tracks every person, then he tracks every service request, and then he has a digital printout that he can go to his precinct captains with.
Sean Howard wants the world to know that he is a campaign manager. Well, he's not a manager. What's Sean? What you call him?
Sean is a communications guy.
Yes. Well, everybody knows that, Sean. You on TV.
Right. Communications. So communications.
All the time.
I think communications. So that's probably one of the most important hubs. You need a manager, and quite frankly, the campaign manager oftentimes is not the person that makes the decisions. The campaign manager is usually the person who executes the strategy.
Right.
Then you've got strategy people, the kitchen cabinet, finance. You got finance. Finance really runs everything. So once you get the finance team, then the finance team meets up with the strategy team, and they say, okay, we're going to fund. Here's where we're going. Here's our keys. Here's how we win. This is how we're going to get there, and this is what we're going to budget for each one. Now, as you raise, now the finance team, then they say a budget. The finance team is responsible for going out to raise that money so it feeds the troops. So think about like the finance committee. Then after that is kind of, the finance committee is really like bigger than the kitchen cabinet. But the kitchen cabinet is usually like, a lot of finance guys just believe. So they say, I'm going to call my friends, I'm going to raise you $1 million. And then you got to go show them the commercials. And they say, yeah, I like that one. I'll raise you another $500,000. The finance committee is a lot of times egomaniacs. Not egomaniacs. They are the oligarchs. I think I'm going to get back in the game, though, y'all. I think I need to go ahead and drop some hammers real quick. Make y'all not forget. Y'all done forgot about your man. Then you again. You are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Sitting in with me is former Cook County Board President Todd Stroger. And Todd, it is time for the social media question of the day. Now, as we get into the mayoral campaign and I look at the numbers, and Todd, have you been looking at any of these maps? First of all, let me give a big shout out to the Chicago Tribune for their election map coverage. So their ward-by-ward coverage and their precinct-by-precinct coverage was just probably the most telling things ever if you are a political junkie or a geek like me. And then State Representative Will Gazzardi then added some other different... He created some other geo-targeting maps that showed some really interesting dynamics. And I'm going to tell you, Todd, looking at what Tony Preckwinkle won and looking at what Lori Lightfoot won, Lori Lightfoot won very dense areas. Dense. Whereas Tony Preckwinkle won, she actually won dense areas, but the place, let me back up. As I look at the map, where Tony Preckwinkle won was not enough to keep up with where Lori Lightfoot won. And if
large buildings with a lot of units.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so Lori Lightfoot has a very expandable universe. Tony Preckwinkle to win needs the black vote, like needs it. And not only does she need it, she needs to turn it out, which...
Well, let me tell you, a little bird told me.
Go ahead.
That some prominent members of society either met or will be meeting with Tony very shortly to figure out how can they get the black, what can she say to the black voters about her record and how she will turn it around.
So, first of all, it starts by admitting to yourself, like in public, to all of your cool white friends who aren't. Think about this. I just need for y'all to be clear. J.B. Pritzker, governor of the state of Illinois, will not endorse the chairman of the Cook County Democratic Party.
Right.
That's huge. Did the chairman of the Cook County Democratic Party endorse him? Yes. Let me ask you a question. So how does that work? See, this is the challenge, and this is what black folks need to understand. See, everybody always going to hang out with the white folks. We don't have an option. White folks always got an option. So now she spent a lot of time ignoring black folks, and just so we're clear. Sonia, do you have a clue? Because this was Chicago last night. Listen to what Paris Schutz asked and listen to her response. Go.
Chicago will have its first African-American woman mayor. Is there a special meaning in that for you?
You know, when I got elected alderman of the 4th Ward, I was the first woman elected to that office. When I got elected president of the county in 2010, I was the first woman elected to that office. So I've been breaking glass ceilings for a while.
What happened to the black part? Am I crazy? So, but here's what's going to happen, right? Because as they seek to generate or motivate black people to vote for Tony Preckwinkle, if you go down the list, Todd, they really are very similar candidates.
Yeah. Very
similar candidates. I noticed that Tony Preckwinkle is going to try and paint her as a corporate banker. And if that's all y'all got, if that's your painting her as that's whack. I'm just telling you, you're going to need more.
I don't think you're going to get much bang out of it.
Right. Like, don't nobody black want to be poor no way, right? So, ain't nobody. And then, did y'all hear Lori Lightfoot told a story about her brother who committed some felonies and went to jail for 17 years and got out, and she was like, okay, so she got a black story.
Yes, she does.
She got a real black story that she could, so here's what's going to happen, Todd. They're going to seek to contrast her, and I'm already telling you, I know how it's going to go. So y'all ready for me to address the elephant in the room? Are y'all ready? Because here's what I feel like is going to have to happen. I feel like to make a distinction, they're going to make black folks, first of all, not vote for Lori Lightfoot, because Tony Preckwinkle got some real black issues as it is.
Yeah.
They are going to try and divide her, try and make a distinction. And here we go. How will Lori Lightfoot's openly gay status affect her in the black community? Because that is the 800-pound gorilla in the room, the elephant in the room, so to speak. I think it is something that people whisper about, but nobody wants to say out loud. Now, there's a lot of jokes that people have been making in regards to that. I'm not going to touch any of the jokes that I think, because again, people have talked about the similarities here. Mm-hmm. However, I think the first thing that the white advisors will tell Tony Preckwinkle is that black preachers will not accept a openly gay candidate. I think that is going to be the calculation, and the calculation is going to be that can they exploit the black community's lack of, and I'm not going to say it's a lack of. I think that there is
I call it conservative nature.
So black people do have a conservative nature, and I think that the white consultants are going to look to exploit that. But I want to ask WVON listeners right now, straight up, straight out. No questions. This is not a diss. I want to know if it's a real factor. How will Lori Lightfoot's openly gay status affect her in the black community in this mayoral election?
Right.
Ty, thoughts?
I usually try not to have any thoughts on this kind of stuff.
See how that goes? But see, and here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. The thing is, and this is not homophobic. The whole thing is, people prey on socially awkward situations. So nobody's going to talk about it. But they're going to whisper it. I've already gotten in emails from the white guys saying, what do you think about that? Because they think that Mays Jackson is Mr. Look, at this point, all I want is the best. Who is going to do the most for black people?
Right. I mean, that's actually, you're right. That's how I look at it, is how, it's not how does her being gay affect the office, it's how does the African American agenda get into her office if she's the mayor.
And well, first of all, there's not one. But see, here's my question. See, this is where I feel like Toni Preckwinkle has an opportunity, but she jacks it up all the time because she's so busy listening to the white folks. Play that clip one more time. Because if you play the clip, you hear it, and there's an opportunity to start pivoting to black people. Because them white folks ain't changing.
No.
You think about this. That of the North Side committeemen that supported Toni Preckwinkle, how many of them even won their own damn precinct? Their own precinct that they live in. We're going to talk about that too, because I don't know if there really is a machine. Good, play that clip again, because again, Preckwinkle has an opportunity to pivot to black people. The white guy gives you a layup. You didn't even have to make it up. Are you proud to be a black woman?
Chicago will have its first African-American woman mayor. Is there a special meaning in that for you?
You know, when I got elected alderman of the 4th Ward, I was the first woman elected to that office.
Woman.
When I got elected president of the county in 2010, I was the first woman elected to that office. So I've been breaking glass ceilings for a while.
Go back to what Paris asked. The first part of the set. Go. The first part of
will have its first African-American woman mayor.
That's it. African-American woman mayor. We've been celebrating Black Girl Magic, first black woman, blah, blah, blah. And
she walked away from it.
And you walk away from your Black Girl Magic. See, that's why I want to know, does she even know what Black Girl Magic is? WVON family, give us a call, 773-591-1690. How will Lori Lightfoot's openly gay status affect her in the black community? We'll answer your questions when we come back.
More of The Morning Show with Mays Jackson coming up.
That is disturbing.
I'm saying, like, man, you went through your history, and none of those times did you never acknowledge you a black woman?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody else noticed.
Well, that was yesterday. And yesterday, whoever said March is National History Women's Month, yesterday that happened, and it was the last day of Black History Month. Somebody I know was like, dang, on Black History Month, we can't even get it? You can't be too black already?
Right, it's like you're running away from being black because you don't want your group to feel like you dissed them in some way. I don't get it. Because aren't we part of her group? Or shouldn't we be?
See, my thing is, we can acknowledge everybody but our own damn selves. And why, so that thing you heard about, I heard about that too. Man, she got it. Go ahead, Todd. You got the camera, man. Talk to the people, because I don't want to go crazy yet.
Yeah, it's interesting, Mays, that when we talk about things like this, you're walking on eggshells because you're trying to show people that the political groups have abandoned African Americans as something they need to really court. I mean, they expect you to vote for them, but they don't expect you to be a part of the group. You're not part of the brain trust. You're not supposed to be in the room making decisions. They make a decision, they come out, they say, hey, you guys, we're going left. And all of us African Americans are supposed to go left. And if you don't agree, then you're ostracized and you're called out as well. You know, you're not progressive, so you know you're trying to be part of the establishment, and of course the establishment is bad. So we've got all these black people who aren't in the room, because I'm not sure who's in the room now. I mean, some people, like Carrie Austin, I know she is a powerful figure, but I'm not sure if she's always in the room, and I don't think sometimes she wants to be in the room. So it's kind of hard. I'm not sure what Michelle's position is in the party, because we're really talking about leadership in the party. The only thing I know is that Dick Durbin seems to have a lot of influence, and he seems to want to be involved in a lot of things that go on the local levels.
And the black shit.
Yeah, well, and yes, and black levels. So, but how does that affect us? Because no one that I know of really has a very close relationship with him. I mean, when I was the county board president, he wasn't bad. He was all right with me. I had no problem with him. But that doesn't mean that we want him and others who don't come from our neighborhood making all the decisions. We got to have somebody who's making decisions that look like us. I mean, it's really not even black and white issues. This is a regional issue. When I talk to my relatives in Atlanta who are in politics, they'll let you know that Atlanta, when they do things in Georgia, it's more of a region. It doesn't matter if you're black or white. If you got the same issues, then we're all going to work together. For us, this is all regional. The south side and the west side just happens to be all black. Well, that just happened, I guess.
It didn't just happen.
No, it didn't just happen, because when I got here,
they made it that way.
It was 98% white. So, yeah, but because our regions are like that, we share, of course, the same issues. How do we get those issues to the forefront? We got to have somebody who breaks in and not afraid to say, yeah, I'm African American, and these are what my people need. I'm going to help everybody because that's what we do. But these are what the people who live around me need. When I was at Xavier, my good friend lived right behind Marion Barry. And she always said that was our mayor. We loved him because he was our mayor.
Boom. You are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Mays Jackson. Sitting in with me is former Cook County Board President Todd Stroger. Todd, we are asking the social media question of the day. You know, I know nobody else wants to talk about it. Somebody else is scared they will be accused of homophobia or something along those lines. But I think we got to get this thing on the table, because I'm telling you, strategists are whispering behind the scenes. There will be whisper campaigns. People will be asking the questions because they know that black people, as you say, Todd, are social. What are we? We're socially conservative.
Yes.
But does that, how, and Lori Lightfoot is openly gay. She is married to a woman and they have a daughter.
Right.
The conventional wisdom is, because white folks think that the black preachers run the black community.
Yes,
so they say, they think the black preachers, and they're like, oh, the black preachers ain't going to say yes. So I want to know, how do you think Lori Lightfoot's openly gay status will impact her in the black community? Let me start with Eric. Eric, you're on the Talk Chicago 1690.
Great morning to you, Mays Jackson.
Good morning, my brother.
Whoever thought that Nina Simone, a shout out to them also. That was the record that was playing.
Yes.
Anyway, most generals like to fight the previous battle or previous war. So if the Democratic Party feels that they can turn to black preachers and not turn to try to galvanize young voters. They will be making the same mistake that Hillary Clinton made, lost to Barack Obama, and those other politicians who tried to run against Harold Washington in the 80s. You have to find a new source of voters, and the new source of voters aren't going to come from the black preachers who African Americans still are suspect. One major mistake, whoever Lori Lightfoot, not Lori Lightfoot, but Tony Preckwinkle advisors, they didn't advise her to run towards her being the first African American woman mayor, which white folks want to be a part of that history, are foolish. They need to run to that. And don't do like the Democrats did in 2008 and run away from President Obama. And I'm just using that as an example. Run to that. That's part of history. Run to it.
Thank you, Eric. Thanks, Eric. I appreciate your call. Witherspoon, you want to talk Chicago, 1690. With top first call.
To your co-hosts, both of you guys are my champions. But there is a strategy that we have yet to use, and it is, and I'm sure it means you will understand this, both of you talk, that we're going to offer now, not we're going to vote, but we're not going to oppose either one of them. They're both black females, and they both have their different lifestyles. But to use our presence and our numbers, we need to say, when they come to us, we will not oppose you. And therefore, we don't have to tell them what it means to be black. Either they're going to do the right thing or they're not going to do the right thing. But what they will know is, what if we do vote?
I'm with you on that. Thank you, Witherspoon. Art, you want to talk Chicago?
Mays, what's going on? And to your guest.
What's up, Art?
At the end of the day, black people are not going to hold Lori Lightfoot because she's gay. That's not going to have no effect. If it had been a man, that would have been a little bit different. But in this case, not going to happen. And trust me, black people don't give a damn about no preacher telling them what to do. So you can leave that in the garbage can. May God bless.
Thanks, Art. Jay, you want to talk Chicago, 1690. Jay.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jay.
Yes, and morning to you and your guest. I don't think it'll affect them much because people are going to vote who they're going to vote for, and you're probably going to get people that's not going to vote anyway because they don't even care for Preckwinkle anyway. And as far as Pritzker supporting a candidate, whatever, hey, Mays, I just think the fix is in because when Preckwinkle was making her announcement about the, winning the points or whatever she won for the runoff, whatever, on the side of her, this is just my opinion, was the Cook County clerk, Karen Yarbrough. So I just think the fix is in, May. So that's just me in my opinion.
Thank you, Jay. I appreciate you, man. I think that Karen Yarbrough is there because she is part of the Cook County Democratic Party. Karen, you want to talk Chicago, 1690.
Hey, good morning, King.
Hey, Sister Karen.
I just don't think that people are going to be fooled this time, especially those that claim they're Christians. Let's be for real. Sodom and Gomorrah was not destroyed because of homosexuality. Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed for what we're doing now. We're worried about who's sleeping with who instead of taking care of the community, the children, and the elders. Hey, people, the preachers showed you what they did with Dr. Willie Wilson. Get into your word and understand. I don't care who sleeps with who. I don't care if two men sleep together, two women sleep together. I don't care if a man or woman sleep together. Let's get our communities in order. Love you. Have a great day.
Thank you, Karen. And Carol, you got the last one.
Okay. First of all, you and WVON has done a fantastic job. Keep up the good work. And you love the seniors. We're 70s, 80s. Bronzeville Heritage and Culture Club. And we say, we ain't going back this time now. We ain't going to let nobody separate us. I think all three, Lightfoot, Preckwinkle, and Wilson, are very astute, intelligent people. Let them work together. Let us work together. And to quote you, what's in it for the black people? Thank you. God bless.
That's what I'm talking about, Carol. Sonia, I know I got to go to my break, but could you hit my clip one more time? Because, when we ask, Tony Preckwinkle, you need the black vote. So when somebody asks you a question, like this.
Chicago will have its first African-American woman mayor. Is there a special meaning in that for you?
You know, when I got elected alderman of the 4th Ward, I was the first woman
Black
elected
woman
to that office. When I got elected president of the county in 2010, I was the first woman
Black
elected to
woman.
that office. So I've been breaking glass ceilings for a while.
Hey man, if you embarrassed to us, what Jesus say? If you ain't act like you ain't know me, then don't. When you get to the gates, don't act like you know me now. Hey man, you better get it together. It's Talk Chicago 1690. We'll be back. Traffic news and the weather.
The talk of Chicago and the voice of the nation. 1690 WVON, Berwyn.
She's got a problem, bro.
She does. She's got a problem.
Why are you smiling? You don't seem so sad, Todd.
Well, that's because I think that we, you know, I like black people. I like to see them do well. And I don't see how we're going to do well. To be honest with you, I'm not sure if we'll do well under either. I think we'll be more ignored than.
But we don't have an activist hater. Like Tony is an activist hater. Like she actively goes out and hates.
Well, yeah, everybody. She has a reputation of not of being an elephant. She can remember forever, and when she doesn't like you, it's over. But you know, I always say that when Tony and I were running, the first place we went to was up north. We were at a synagogue, and she said, Todd Stroger did the right thing, but he was the wrong person. So her narrative was I was just the wrong person in the office.
Okay, he is here. Back over, Mr. President.
Hey.
Thank you, darling.
Bestest host in the world.
And then
Sugar.
the next week, the next time we were together, it became vicious, and it was Todd Stroger was incompetent, and she used another catchphrase. It was incompetent and something else. And that became the theme for her whole campaign, and it lasted after the election. I mean, after the election, actually, I used to get together with Tony. We'd get together at Petros, and we'd talk about the county, and I'd give her my take on it. And then a couple of my people got in trouble, and she came by, and she was like, we've decided, and my assumption now, after all these years, is we is probably her and Dick Durbin and somebody. We decided you shouldn't do anything else. We want you to sit down and do nothing. And I said, well, I'm the county board president. I'm going to work my job. And then after she got in, it just became bitter, where she would literally go out and say Todd Stroger was incompetent in something. And she blamed me for 2 years about every bad problem she had until a reporter finally said, you've been here for 2 years. Don't you think it's time that your administration starts taking responsibility? And at that point, she was like, dang, caught. And she didn't have me to blame anymore. She stopped doing it. But our relationship has never been good. So, you know, I'm literally, I talk to people about, you know, I would like to talk to you about this. They're like, yeah, you know, Tony doesn't like you, and I do a lot of business with the county. So I find myself in a spot where my friends are few. So, you know, people talk to me, but, you know, when you got a real friend, that means that they're going to not only talk to you, but they're going to say, I'm going to see how I can help you. Not a lot of those types. And in that, Tony is just one person who hasn't realized that to be progressive does not mean you have to say, I will never mention I'm black again. You know, she's got to get to that spot where she's like, not only am I am doing what is needed for that community. It's like when I talked to a friend, I think it was Michael Granger. He was a businessman. Matter of fact, he bought companies and turned them around and such. And he said when he was in corporate America, the white guys would always bring somebody up. If I became a vice president, I'm bringing Mays in to work in my office, and he's going to learn, he's going to move up the ladder as I move up. Well, the black guys who moved up, and there weren't a lot of black guys, they wouldn't do that. They were afraid. They were afraid if they brought somebody in, all the white guys would look at them and say, hey man, you can't be bringing black folks up the ladder.
You these Negroes up in here. You special.
But the white guys actually expected it because that's what people did. and you aren't supposed to be afraid of it. You're supposed to embrace it and bring somebody up like you. I mean, all the other groups, the Irish, the Greeks, the Polish, everybody does that because you come from an area, you're supposed to help your area. We have lost our way. There was a Facebook question today. What does progressive mean in regional politics? And for me, progressive just has meant that
fire black people.
yeah, black people are out. Yeah. It's a sad state we're in. We need more organization on a larger level.
What am I doing now? Oh, social media monitoring. I'm about to do a social media.
May's my wife may bring my daughter.
Huh?
My daughter, about 7:30. She doesn't have to come in here.
She can.
She doesn't have school, and I figured it'd be nice for her
Man,
to
time
see
just
me.
flew. I forgot we had 7. There he is.
Who is the person?
It's on that look right below us, that gas.
Okay. Oh gosh! What?
That was so heartfelt. I could feel that.
Man, I was out at Joe's last night.
Oh. Well, after you said you went to bed at 10 and slept well, I was like, I'm going to try to get to bed at 10. I did get at 10:30. I got in at 10:30.
Whoa, whoa. Mm-hmm. I feel so unsure as I take your hand and put you to the dance floor, and the music dies. Something in your eyes, compliment a silver screen. Your darkness said goodbye. I'm never gonna dance again. Guilty feet have got no rhythm. Though I'm easy to pretend. I know you're not a fool. I should've known better than to cheat a friend and waste the chance that I'd been given. So I'm never gonna dance again the way I dance with you. Whoa. Time can never mend the careless whispers of a good friend. To heart and mind, winter skies, there's no comfort in the truth. Pain is all you'll find. I'm never gonna dance again. Guilty feet have got no rhythm. Though it's easy to pretend. I know you're not a fool. Should've known better than to cheat a friend and waste the chance that I'd been given. So I'm never gonna dance again the way I dance with you. Oh. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. That is Taj Stroger singing background vocals. Let me tell y'all what.
I put that on all my romantic tapes.
You know what? So the problem becomes with all of these romantic tapes, like after you put them on and you be singing the song and then you realize they was singing to a man and you be like, damn, damn, damn. All right, y'all, it's the WVON Morning Show. Not that there's anything wrong with it.
There's anything wrong with that.
I just won't be singing it to the, but hey, man, There's classics. Gotta say what's up to the WVON Morning Show team. What's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom? What's up to the Sonias, the tag team? Brown Sonia, Black Sonia, that's right, Sonia Escobar, Sonia Tompkins. They are the Wonder Twins. I think I've got a new name for you, the Wonder Twins Sonias. Activate! Plus, gotta say what's up to my girl Sophia Anjam. Anjam, she is here from Pakistan. It's her last day, y'all. So y'all make sure y'all wish her some love and show her some love on social media. Now check this out, y'all. I just mentioned social media, and social media has, I'll be honest with you, I am a social media junkie. But for many of our young people, it is woven into their everyday lives. What happens on social media affects their school day, affects how they work, conflicts, the meetings after school. The bullying is now no longer in person. You can be virtually bullied. You can be in your room. Remember when you used to go home? Like if you was getting bullied, you got home and you was kind of like safe.
Right, that's your safe place.
Well, now you go and you flip up the computer screen, and there they are right there. The bullies talk about what they're going to do, how you look. Oftentimes, you can also find conflict on social media. Well, CPS has adopted a strategy in which they monitor social media to keep down conflicts. And parents are now starting to push back, saying it's an invasion of the kids' privacy. I'm going to just tell you, when you was a kid with me, you ain't had no privacy. When I was a kid, you had no privacy. Nope. Man, my parents used to bust in the room, go through all your stuff. You'd be like,
privacy is if you can hide it well
enough. Right. Yeah, I used to have to dig a hole out back or something. But here to the, so CPS has employed this strategy of monitoring social media. And quite frankly, even though some parents are pushing back, it has been quite successful. Here to talk to us about it is Aaron Leibowitz, freelance reporter from ProPublica. Aaron, welcome to the WVON Morning Show. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thanks so much for having me on.
Hey, man, thank you. And thank you for this story. So first of all, let me just say this. Social media is a phenomenon that I don't even know if most parents even completely understand. They may have a Facebook page and look at pictures. They may go on Twitter, but social media has become integrated into the lives of children. Talk to me about what CPS has been doing to monitor social media.
Sure. So a few years ago, the Chicago Public Schools applied for a grant with the Department of Justice. And basically what they said was a lot of the conflict and the violence between students stems from conflicts that are going on online. And so we want to figure out a way to monitor what our students are doing online and basically identify students who might be at risk of getting involved in gangs, might be at risk of violence. And so they got approved for a $2 million grant from the Department of Justice. And what that funded was they were able to hire 2 full-time employees who they called intelligence analysts, who would basically be keeping tabs on social media, looking for these students who are at risk. They also got funding to use this surveillance software to try to identify these students. And then when they did find these students at a number of pilot schools that they selected, they would bring the kids in for what they called interventions in the school. So there would be some school administrators in the room, and then sometimes if they decided that it was necessary, they would also bring in police officers to these meetings from the Chicago Police Department. And the idea being, we're going to sit this kid down, have a talk with him or her, and basically say, look, we saw this social media post. It's really dangerous. Try to find out if the kid is involved in a gang. and basically set that student on a better path, or at least maybe connect the student with a summer job, and try to warn them about the dangers of posting this way on social media. And so this program was piloted for the past few years. The pilot program just ended, but the public is just now finding out about it.
Now, that seems to be completely logical, but apparently some people are pushing back against this social media monitoring. Some parents, tell me why. Who and why?
Yeah, so, I mean, it's interesting. Like you said, so much of the conflict between students does happen on social media. The University of Chicago did some research as part of this grant, and they had a number of school administrators tell them, over 90% of the conflicts that we see in our classrooms stem from social media. And so it certainly makes sense that the CPS wants to know what's going on there and wants to keep their students safe. I think some of the concern is that, if you have people looking at students' social media accounts without their knowledge that it's happening, or without their parents' knowledge that it's happening, some people feel that that's an invasion of privacy. And I think there might be even more concern about the police department's involvement in this program, and the fact that under this program you had a lot of meetings between students and police officers where, from incident reports we looked at, the officers are kind of grilling these students about whether they're in gangs, who else they know who's involved in a gang, and the parents aren't always in these meetings. And so I think there's some concern there that, parents should know if their students are being monitored, and should also know if they're having these interactions with police. And so CPS has basically said, this is the approach we're going to take. We have some data that suggests it might be working, but I think there is a conversation to be had about transparency and just making sure everyone's on the same page about how they're doing this.
You know what, I think that you do bring up some legitimate concerns as it relates to, I'm always leery of police in the rooms. I'd love to see the racial breakdown of who got police intervention, what were the outcomes there as well. Look, Aaron, we're going to continue this conversation when we come back. WVON family, we are talking CPS and social monitoring. Aaron, also, when we come back, we want to know what those pilot schools were. And you know what? Do they make a social media gang database? Is that something that could be happening too? We'll talk about it all when we come back on Talk Chicago 1690.
More of the morning show with Mace Jackson
Todd
on the Talk of Chicago.
So I feel like the police are going to be deployed to the black schools. The white schools, they're going to say, Becky, have some Grey Poupon.
Well, according to the release we saw, it has made an effect. So I'm not against it, and it appears that the schools that they are targeting, of course, are schools that are considered to have some kind of gang problems. And, I've seen, even on the Facebook posts, I've seen a lot of posts where people, they're not afraid to say they're part of a gang in any sense. But this is more about problems that happen and trying to prevent them. So I'm all for it, but I do think the parents have to be involved once you identify somebody and you say, all right, this is a problem with this student.
If I'm pulling your kid into a room with the police officers, you got to call me.
No, I don't want my children talking to the police without me. It's just like I don't want to talk to the police without an attorney. There has to be some safeguards. Children are children. They're not going to react in the same way that an adult would, and a smart adult is always going to have some kind of person who's going to represent them to let them know what they shouldn't or should say. There's no part of it is trying not to get in the system, even if you're innocent. of anything, you don't want to get it in the system where all of a sudden you're going to court all the time. You got to hire an attorney to prove your innocence. You don't want any of that kind of stuff. But I think the program sounds like it's having the effect it's supposed to. It's just that parents always have to be part of the solution. And if they're not, then I don't think it's going to have a lasting effect with your child if you're just talking to them, not having any reinforcement at home. So hopefully, as they do this, things get better. As they expand it to the parents, at least. And back to politics. I'd really like to see Tony roll out something. I mean, I'm not certain if Lightfoot's camp will see that as a necessity. As May said, it appears that from the start, Lightfoot's base is larger than Tony's base. So I'm not sure if we're going to get the same reactions out of her camp as we should get out of Preckwinkle's camp. But, you know, I think if they want to talk to black people, then they need to address the inequities in development in the black regions compared to the rest of the city. And they should have something that says that this is how we're going to address this and get more money. Uh-oh, sounds like this is one of May's songs.
It's me, my compology. Shooby-doo-wah, doo-doo-wah, I wanna love you. Shooby-doo-wah, love you, baby. Shooby-doo-wah, doo-doo-wah, I wanna love you. Pewter love, you know I've been around. From the sexy mamas to prima donna. The cherry eyes so rare. Face I see on my computer screen. Be warm tonight. You are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Mays Jackson. Sitting in with me is former Cook County Board President Todd Stroger, and we are on the phone with Aaron Leibowitz of ProPublica. And you know what? Aaron is talking to us about the social media monitoring that CPS is doing. He said it's been successful, but you know, one of the things that concerns me, Aaron, is, and because most of the conflicts that I see with young people do begin on social media at this point, or they're amplified on social media, because now if someone disses you, on social media, it's not just them saying it to your face, it's them saying it to 10,000 people or however many friends that you have. So talk to me about what happens when the racial disparity of who is being pulled in with the police.
Sure. So this pilot program, which CPS called Connect and Redirect to Respect, started in 2015 with 16 schools. It grew to 24 schools last year. And out of those 24 schools, the vast majority are majority black or Hispanic populations. And so I had in my story that 16 out of the 24 were majority black, 5 were majority Hispanic, and most are on the south and west sides of Chicago. Some of the schools that were part of the program, you had Roosevelt High, Steinmetz, Sullivan, and so that was one of the things that some of the people we spoke with brought up is, obviously there's concern at these schools about gang violence and students who are at risk, but there's also concern about why are only these students being watched and not students elsewhere, and we had the language that young people in Chicago use on social media for several years tell us, it can almost amount to a sort of virtual stop and frisk, as he called it, where young people of color are disproportionately being watched and are more likely to be caught up in whatever consequences that has, whereas other young people, young white kids aren't necessarily being monitored as closely, even though they also might be.
We know they in gangs too.
On social media.
So out of these list of schools, do we have a total number of incidents that they may have stopped or solved?
So we requested incident reports from this program, and we got a sense that over the course of about 4 years, they've brought in about 700 students who, and in most of these cases, what they're seeing on social media, usually on Facebook, is either pictures of students who might be flashing gang signs or who might be showing a weapon on social media or who perhaps are using threatening language. And so we found there were over 700 of those interventions conducted over several years.
Man, so overall, I think this could be a good program, but it seems like it needs some safeguards. It sounds like there also could be a creation of a virtual, as we talk about getting rid of the gang database, that's been such a big deal. It seems like they are creating in what's in some cases a virtual database, something that happens, a virtual database that could wind up being saved and following a kid all the way to his adulthood. Where do these records go? What happens to all this information that they are collecting, and who updates? Because kids move at a different, I thought that, now I see these kids throwing up signs that I thought was something, and then it means it's a 3-point shot that they saw in LeBron James do, but now somebody else is saying that's a gang sign. So how do you prevent, because if it's a black kid, it's a gang sign. If it's a white kid, it's shooting basketball. It's something else. How do we get a handle on this thing, or how are they trying to get a handle on it to make sure that it's executed fairly and does not target someone for the rest of their lives?
Right. Well, I think what you said about safeguards is a great question, and one of the concerns that we raised in this story is you have police officers sometimes coming into these interventions. They're asking students whether they're involved in gangs, who they know who's involved in a gang.
Are these police officers with guns? Are these police officers with guns on them?
I don't believe the officers would be armed. They're part of a unit that the police department has called the Gang School Safety Team. But they are uniformed officers. And basically the idea of this unit is to avoid violence in schools and to intervene when there might be a threat of violence. And so what the police have told us is, the goal of this is not to put students on any sort of database. That's not what this is about. But there's no formal agreement between the Chicago Public Schools and the Chicago Police that says that a student's name couldn't be added to the gang database. And so that might be something that gets discussed going forward. The other thing to consider here is that the school district did make a real point that this isn't about punishment. Obviously, like you said, there can be confusion about what something on social media actually means, whether it's criminal or whether it deserves punishment. And so they basically said, this is about giving students support, intervening, keeping them safe. And the incident reports we looked at do suggest that they weren't punishing most of these students.
Neither did Laquan McDonald's police report either. So I just got questions as it relates to that. I do think that there needs to be social media monitoring, but I do think that parents, we need to be looking at this a little bit closer, because I do think that you have anything, too much of anything can be bad, and I could see how this thing could go to the left. And a kid is now tagged for the rest of his life for a misunderstanding. But at the same time, I cannot deny that most of the conflict that I see now comes from kids beefing on social media. So Aaron, thank you for opening our eyes to this situation. He is a freelance reporter with ProPublica. Aaron, where can people find you on Facebook or Twitter?
You can find me on Twitter at Aaron_Leib, L-E-I-B.
All right. Aaron Leibowitz, he is a freelance reporter with ProPublica, discussing with us CPS social media monitoring. Hey, man, we appreciate you, and we look forward to talking to you again. Now, when we come back, there is alleged vote buying in the 25th Ward. But you know what it exposes, Todd? It exposes a white racket of white folks once again trying to pimp black folks in poverty. We'll talk about it. The Chicago Housing Initiative and how they tried to buy an election using poor black folks. We'll be back.
Live from the WVON newsroom. Here's...
You ready for this one, Tamiko? You didn't read the story about them giving out gift cards for...
No, I didn't see that.
Giving out gift cards in the 25th Ward for votes?
Actually, I didn't look at the previous one. No.
Google that.
I think I may know somebody in that group.
CHI?
Yeah.
They don't like black people. They just hire, it's a bunch of rich people, wealthy poverty pimps who go and organize tenant councils to go against landlords, but they don't live in the building because they make $200,000, $300,000 a year.
My Wonder Twin wants a French curler. Now we're going to be calling each other Wonder Twin.
Wonder Twins, activate.
You don't want this one no more?
Yeah, you can turn it back on. I took it out because I was burning up. You plug it in over there.
It's warm today.
Yeah.
What the hell
That's
happened?
me, I ain't warm.
Can I come in?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so hi Todd.
Hi.
How are you? So I got a little something for you. It's very little, but okay. So this is a
Come over here and do it
traditional
on.
Peshawari chappal.
Stand over here.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Hi everybody. Okay, so this is a traditional Peshawari chappal from Pakistan.
Okay.
Remember the city of Peshawar that we were talking
Oh,
about?
yeah.
Right. Okay, so this, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, is a Peshawari chappal. Sorry, over here, as you can see, okay? And it is extremely popular in Pakistan. A lot of people love wearing it. So it's a little gift from my side to
Well,
you.
thank you so much. This is like
This
when...
is your key to Pakistan. So
so when I come to Pakistan, I'm bringing this. This ain't like the ones they threw at George Bush's when they was like... Psh.
This is the global key.
Haha, the key. I got the key to Pakistan, y'all. I'm going to put this on my key ring. You're going to see it whipping around the Porsche. Everybody say hi to Sophia.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Did you enjoy your trip? So she came to Windy City Live yesterday, guys. Did you have a good time?
I had a great time, and you know the thing is that I am so inspired by your energy, Maze. I was just talking about this the other day also, that you know you had a radio show, you had 2 TV shows. I thought that's great, and energy is really great. It's very contagious.
Yes, it is. Yeah. And I'm dragging today. I'm going in slow motion.
So Todd, you don't have to feel left out because I have a key for you too.
So sweet.
Okay. Right. So this is the same, which is the different design from the one that I have gave to Maze.
Yeah, I wouldn't want the same thing. Maze.
Yeah. Okay. So this is again a traditional Peshawari chappal, which is very famous, very popular in Pakistan. You know how people have, like when you go to Thailand, you have all those flip-flops that people love to wear?
Yes.
Because you know it's all about the sun and all about the beaches. But in Pakistan we have chappals, or you could say sandals. You know that people love to wear in our country. So yeah, and there you go. You have the key to Pakistan.
See, now I gotta look that up.
And we're gonna have you in at. We'll bring you back in at 8.
Sure. And I'm doing the top stories today. Or what am I doing today?
Today you are going to hang out with us for the last hour.
Woo!
And you'll just jump in the conversation.
Fantastic. See you.
Cool, man. Cool. How about that? That was pretty cool. What are we doing at 8 o'clock? All right, y'all. Take a moment, share the broadcast. Who's rocking with us? What up, Kang, Mufasa, Red? What up, Anwar? What up, Leah Charrier? What up, Carol Muhammad? What up, Stephanie Falasha Masegu? What up, Tiger Lily? What up, Verdella Walker? What up, Antonio? What up, Shanika Finley? What up, Brother Patah? What up, Daryl Stiff? What up, Tammy Jackson? What up, Jerry's Resale? What up, Donald Bruster Woods? What up, Darlene, Dr. Darlene? What up, Reddy Brock? What up, Randy Span? What up, William Torch? What up, Tamiko? So call in, Miko. Call in, call in, call in. Call in, call in, call in, call in, call in. You are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Sitting in with me is my man, Todd Strojan. Now, Todd, you know what? I was on Windy City Live yesterday. Maybe you caught that. I don't know if y'all caught me on Windy City Live.
I hate to say it, but my daughter got out of school early. I picked her up at noon, and we were rushing home. I said, Maze is on.
You ain't DVR me, man. You ain't hit the DVR, man.
What?
Come on, Todd. See, man, we gotta get you into the 2000s, man. You gotta hit the DVR. You're right, TiVo, right? I was on Windy City Live. Also, check me out. I'm gonna be on 26 North tomorrow with my man George Blaze, and we did a real high-tech breakdown of the mayor's race. I'm gonna tell you, how I feel like it's my duty when I get in a public venue. Yesterday I talked on Windy City Live. We talked about the runoff in the 5th Ward because they were talking about the presidential library and the poll that ran that said they wanted a community benefits agreement. And so I thought it was a perfect opportunity to highlight the aldermanic runoff between Leslie Hairston and Will Calloway, because that community benefits agreement will be a tremendous issue going forward. Yes. And it can be a tremendous issue that obviously Leslie Hairston is a staunch supporter of the Obama Center without a community benefits agreement. And now white folks from all over the city are coming against it. And now they need to have some allies. Will, on the other hand, I don't know if he's for it, but that community benefits agreement will probably be one of the issues that the 5th Ward election hinges on. That, and can Will Calloway convince the other guy to support him, bring his supporters as well? Now,
I went to a meeting, I guess it was last summer, about the Obama library. It was, where was it going to be? I think it was at La Vida. And there were so many people they couldn't even have a meeting. It was just too many people. And there were a lot of white residents who were like, I don't like what's going on. So, yeah, if Will is smart, he'll try to tap into that and see how they have some synergy.
You know what? And so speaking of synergy and tapping into that, there's another aldermanic race that in a lot of cases it's been in the news and it hasn't been really impactful to black people. And that is the race for alderman in the 25th Ward. That is the ward that is being vacated by Danny Solis. Now, in that ward, there is now a runoff between Alex Acevedo and another candidate. His name is Byron Sigcho Lopez. Have you heard about this story, Todd?
I only heard about it recently, like about 5 minutes ago when you started.
Okay, well, allegedly, so the 25th Ward is typically not a place that you think of for black people. But there are pockets of where black people are as they draw these maps. One of the most significant voting blocks in the 25th Ward is the Barbara Jean Wright Court Apartments. I know about them because I used to live right across the street from those. It's University Commons, University Village, Barbara Jean Wright. So Barbara Jean Wright is like the affordable housing in the midst of all this new development. And so in this...
What would that be, like streetwise?
13th, like right off of Roosevelt and Morgan.
Oh.
Between Morgan and Racine.
Oh.
Right?
I know exactly where.
Okay, and it's those brown townhomes, and they are populated by black folks. But it's a predominantly Latino ward, but it also is a ward that is rapidly developing. And one of the things that's happened...
My family, my daughter goes to school right around the block.
So she goes to UIC?
No, St. Ignatius.
Woo. Might as well go to UIC. That's probably... tuition is probably more at St. Ignatius.
But it's funny because we used to make jokes that the first wave had already come in, and that is along Halsted where the artists go.
Right.
The artists go to places that are run down, and they set up their camp, and then after them, slowly but surely, you start seeing people just around the neighborhood like, hey man, I don't remember seeing you around here before.
And so, exactly. And so now the 25th Ward is that Pilsen area as well. So it's one of the hottest developing neighborhoods. It's been named one of the hottest neighborhoods in the world.
18th Street is starting to look like, is it Division?
Yes.
Yeah, it's starting to look like Division.
So it's important. So you got to understand why 25 is important to this group. So black folks are oftentimes very easy to shepherd into a lane, particularly if they have an incentive. So this group, Chicago Housing Initiatives, which is a player in they're a player in the affordable housing market and the public housing market. They decided that they wanted to influence the black vote by giving away free gift cards for people for voting for this Byron Sigcho Lopez. Now, to give someone a monetary benefit for voting is illegal, just in general. Am I correct?
Right. I think you're correct.
And so, when you read the story, it seems very innocent, but one of the...
Oh, you know what? I should say that I did know my son went to school for a young man who lives over in that area, and his father is very big working in housing, and he is staunchly against the gentrification. He's trying to make sure that the Hispanic residents aren't kicked out.
So check this out. What's happening, Todd, is, I don't know if you saw this, but there are white groups that I always talk about that profit off of the pain and suffering of black people. We often think of them as benevolent people in our community, and we're always thankful that they come and they are always providing services. And the next thing you find out, they want to organize you. Right? They want to organize the black folks, and they want to say to the black people, you have to stand up for your rights. And you shouldn't let these white millionaires come here and take over your land. So let us help you.
Right.
And then they prop up 2 or 3 black people and they say, we are the Tenants' Right Council and we are standing up for our rights. And then the white guys at these places write the speeches and then they tell them to go in, because ultimately there is a plan. So ultimately, Todd, what happens is these white organizations go organize black communities to use the power of black people against politicians or against themselves, with the goal of really controlling the affordable housing market. Mm-hmm. So basically what happens is you got people like this, what's her name? Leah, hold on. There's a woman in here, Leah Levenger, who's the executive director of Chicago Housing Initiatives. Basically was giving people gift cards to vote so that they could then be in control. Because guess where all the affordable housing is going, Todd?
Where?
Into these new gentrifying neighborhoods. And the white folks want to be in control of how it happens. Let's go to the phone lines real quick, because I got somebody who can tell us a little bit more about it. Tamiko, you're on the Talk of Chicago, 1690.
Good morning, Maze. How are you?
Good morning, Tamiko. Can you help me understand about these groups like the Chicago Housing Initiative? That's right. Tamiko is the president of What's in It for the Black People as well. And this is one of the issues that she's brought to the forefront. Tamiko, help us understand how these housing groups work.
I am so happy that they finally showed their hand publicly. They come in because low-income residents are treated so poorly in some instances, where especially when it comes to management and things of that nature. So this is how they're able to come in and infiltrate and get on top of our, you know what I'm saying, our what do you call, I call our people, because I'm a part of that population, you know, less fortunate, you know, or pretty much our at-risk population, right? So, and they get them to get our people to trust them, and it's an ulterior motive, because not only you missing one point, not only are they pretty much their game plan is to control the affordable housing market, and they please stop using low income and affordable housing. It's 2 different things.
Okay.
Most of our, you know, working poor cannot meet the affordable housing minimum income. They get in and they pretty much get the trust. Not only do they want to control the affordable housing, they want to pretty much capture and control the black vote. Make no mistake about it, just watch how they move. They intertwine with FDIU and all of that. Okay, not only did they give out gift cards, they also made an unauthorized endorsement, you know, because the local advisory council there, that people don't know that they exist in the public housing realm. They are elected.
Tamiko, can I hold you? Tamiko, I need you to hold on. I got to go to traffic and weather. When we come back, here's what I want you to do. I want you to break down, don't hang her up. I want you to break down how these groups work, and why is it that these white folks are so interested in affordable housing now? We'll talk about it when we come back to Talk Chicago 1690.
More of the morning show with Mace.
So basically, it's these white companies prop up black people, send them in to go attack the organizations, and then use that to become their battering ram against an elected official or an alderman.
There's money involved.
There's money involved, and the white people rich. White people get rich. They got the $200,000. This Leah Levenger has a $200,000 salary. She tried to do me. She tried to block let me tell you how crazy these people are. The Chicago Housing Initiative, Alderman Burnett was able to save 300 units of housing for affordable people, even though they weren't necessarily all in the same bucket. Do you know these people was willing to kick out 300 people to save 36? So they were willing to kick out 300 people so they could have 36 new apartments. What they're trying to do, so you know that there was a consent decree over the Chicago Housing Authority. That's gone. And so now the fight is, and those people got paid for hundreds of years off of, or for like 50 years off of the consent decree. So the white lawyers sue for the black lady. The black lady live in public housing. They bill millions of dollars. Right. This is the same thing. What's happening is CHI, Chicago Housing Initiatives, is trying to control the affordable housing market through their organization. So they're not necessarily, so they're leveraging poor black people against developers that are coming in and really putting themselves in control of affordable housing overall. But there's no black people that work for them. So they all making hundreds of thousands of dollars. They live in big houses, but they want to go fight for affordable housing for the black people, but they ain't got no black people working. Who the hell is Leah Levenger? Help me understand why our organizations are always led by people from outside of our community. When it is if you want to help black people, you got to go to Catholic Charities. You got to go to Lutheran Family Services. You got to go to somebody white to help black folks. Why does Barbara Jean Wright courts, all black residents need white folks to come to organize them? Huh? And why is it that when we come to the meetings, the white people hand the black people the paper of what to say and stand behind them and be like these are Negroes. Then they draw a map and say, we got the niggas in Barbara Jean Wright. We got the niggas in, right? Who's the black leaders? Now what they'll do is they'll prop up a black person to be the head of the resident council and get them a nice apartment. Right? Tell them, we're going to get you a nice apartment. We're going to fight for you. And you know, once again, oh, baby, no, baby, no, baby. No, no, no. Uh-oh. Even though I hate to leave, girl, for I cried as I walked out the door. Is asking me to stay, but we've been through the same things before. I can't believe that this is happening to us. We made vows to never depart, never. Whoa, heard my hand to see if you're hurt, 'cause I also feel it deep in my heart. You said you'd never leave me. I said I'll never leave you. But fairy tales don't always come true. You promised to stay with me. I promised to stay. I guess you knew and blew a good thing, baby. 'Cause I'm saying bye-bye. My sunny days just ain't the same. Every hour of the day brings me tears. I cry too, oh. So I guess I have to keep on hoping, wishing, praying that you are here. And I'd rather end this self-misery than to go on living without you. And then I ask myself over and over again if maybe you make me a fool. Never leave me. I said I'd never leave you. But fairy tales don't always come true. All right, y'all. This is the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Sitting in with me is Ty Stroger. And that was the Wonder Twins +1. That's right.
Is that Guy or was that Aaron by himself?
No, that was Guy, man. That was Guy. That's, you know. That's good. Then we got to hear, you got to hear, did he say, do y'all remember in the beginning, did he say, you know what, let me stop. That's the other song. All right, y'all. Let me go back to Tamiko. Tamiko, real quick, break down to me, why do these white companies why do these white companies want to be the representation for black poverty?
Because we have so many, our unresolved issues, and we have most of the time don't know how to navigate through the red tape. Okay, so this is why they're able to use us as a cash cow. That's number one. Number two, their organizations, first of all, non-for-profit organizations, these directors and stuff, they have no other job but to do this. And they pretty much own homes or got mortgages in beautiful neighborhoods. Make no mistake about it. It's plenty of money in. But what you're negating the fact is not just Barbara J. Wright Court. First of all, Barbara J. Wright Court is a project-based voucher complex. That means the Section 8 stays with the unit. It doesn't move around with the family. But there's also public housing right up the street. I put a flyer in your inbox concerning the unauthorized endorsement of the local advisory council, and the president called me, which is Mary Baggett over in the area, ABLA local advisory council, showing me the flyer about the same thing that Byron did, took one of her board members and put them on the flyer saying that the local advisory council endorsed it.
See,
So
and that's this.
and it's against the law for them to do that.
Is this that CHI group, Chicago Housing Initiatives?
Yes, Byron been pretty much moving around with them for the longest.
Look, we're gonna have to do a further investigation on this Chicago Housing Initiatives. I'm gonna tell you, I ran into them on the north side. Thank you, Tamiko. I ran into them on the north side when they were willing to throw out I believe this was the group that wanted to have us put out 200 residents so they could get 36 new apartments. Yeah, we got to start watching these white folks that are in our communities trying to be our advocates, trying to tell you what's good for you, but then they go live somewhere else. Mike, what's up? You want to talk Chicago?
Hey, good morning. It ain't just white folks, it's black folks too doing the same thing. Now, in the 25th Ward, you had 5 people out of 32 precincts. Ida Flores' mayor got 2% of the vote. Clearly, we are not dealing with public policy issues around the biggest problem that we have in our community, and that is affordable housing. Those people that they didn't run out of the state from the south and west side, we've been dispersed on the north and the near north side and other parts of Chicago. And for economically disadvantaged black folks, because we have not been educated around the issues of housing, specifically the fact that the previous mayor, the one that's leaving in May, is dropping contracts all over the place for these white folks to represent us. That's why we're in the predicament that we are. We have to educate ourselves, and we need to be asking our mayoral candidates, what is it they're going to do about affordable and low-income housing, and how they going to split up that $240 million that Rahm Emanuel sat on for 8 years, and nobody, including Negroes, said anything about it. That's my comment for today.
That's the real Mike O'Connor. All right, Tyrone, you want to talk Chicago?
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm working hard.
You know what the real problem is?
No, what?
The Jews have always tried to be in control of the plight of the black people in America and in Chicago. If you can remember, when they were closing down the buildings, you had Rahm Emanuel as the chairperson of CHA. If you can remember, it was the Jewish Council of Urban Affairs where Leah Levinger, who is overshot now, they were all involved in black folks' business, trying to make sure they destroy the black community. See, they always got these Jews running around, not just only white folks, but you got to remember, you got these Jewish mafia folks running around with the Irish Hamburg gangsters, which Daddy Daly was the gangster leader of, and they have always worked together against the black community. That's why we don't have black leaders that represent us, because when they decide to talk, they destroy.
So, see it now. Am I getting ready to get destroyed for talking about these people trying to pimp poverty, pimp us again? I mean, I'm saying, you got to see when these, do you understand that I have been to meetings, and I'm going to be honest, I'm a lobbyist, right? I have lobbied and I have had to work against these people at some point. And I'm always saying to myself, I want the best for the black people. What are you talking about? And their interest is not the success of people getting homes. They want to be in control of the affordable housing market. See, as the public housing market shrinks, they are now looking for new places, and the best way to do that is to go to where it's to organize black people, because you know we'll follow anybody. Sean, you want to talk Chicago 1690?
Okay, so I know what you all are talking about this morning, but let me give you another example of what's going on that same end as far as housing. Okay, as far as shelters are concerned, there are not many shelters, especially on the south side and west side. Is a shortage of shelters from how many families were displaced. So all these people are a little bit of everywhere, different states, different suburbs. You know, that's like when you go down 79th Street. 79th Street is not the 79th Street it used to be. 79th Street always been like it is, but it's even worse now because 79th Street is low end.
Sean, I got to stop you right there because I got to go to news, traffic, and weather. But when we come back, y'all, we're going to talk a little bit about this mayor's race. We're going to add that into it. But let me tell you what. I also want to ask, is there still really a machine? I was going by looking at the precinct maps, and I don't think any I'm not sure if any committeemen who endorsed Tony Preckwinkle actually won their precinct on the north side. We'll talk about it when we come back.
The talk of Chicago and the voice of the nation.
You got the
Yeah, you know, in that the vein of what the topic, I remember when I was the alderman in the 8th ward, and
is this about CHI?
No, because
I mean, is this about this topic we were talking about?
Yes. Seniors in Action came to the office and they said, you know, we're having a hard time crossing Stony Island, and we want to do some changes there. We talk to the city, and it's pretty much like we were saying, Maze. They came out, the seniors came out, but the person who was directing them was a white young lady who wasn't from the south or the west side. And they start these groups to work with African Americans. I assume they probably have some groups that work with the Latinos, but we're never really part of the group. The people who get fed off of that stuff live somewhere else, and who run the policy live somewhere else. So we are being led by groups, but we're being led by groups other than ourselves. But I say part of that problem is what I've stated before, and that's that we're not playing with the same leaders that we played with in the past. So we don't, as a group, we don't pay much attention to like the NAACP. I'm not sure how much of real interaction that black people have with the Urban League, other than the people who make up the Urban League, the businesses. But the normal, regular citizens aren't interacting as much with groups as we used to see them as successful as they try to fight for our issues. So, you know, I think because of that, that's why we find ourselves where we are. We're always wondering what's going to be the black agenda, who's going to help push it, because we're not fighting for those traditional groups like the NAACP. I like the NAACP name. I don't want to change it.
Negro, please.
That's true. You know, because it's history. That may be a change the name, but we got to remember where we came from and what the times were in the past that get us to where we are today. Our problem is we seem to have forgotten. We like to I take that back. We like to talk about it, but we don't talk about it as how we are going to make change and positive change. How do we change today from yesterday? By remembering yesterday, because I always say, man, you can't forget history. You can't forget that Jim Crow just stopped when I was like, what? As I look at it, Jim Crow probably stopped. I was probably like 12 or something. That's when they really put a stop to it. And there was all these neighborhoods you couldn't go to when I was growing up. All that is recent history. So why aren't we still coalesced to make sure that that history doesn't happen again, but actually that our plight has changed. And I don't. I think I'm going to start going to the Southside NAACP meeting. I've talked to like the presidents every once in a while, but you know, just my dad used to be involved in so many groups. He was involved with the Boy Scouts of America. He was involved with the Boys and Girls Club. He was involved with the Better Boys Foundation. Well, for one thing, he saw that children are real, as they say. Children are our future, and that if we can't connect with them before they get connected by something that will not benefit them, they're not going to be very useful to the community. There's going to be more of a nuisance as they're not really a part of what we think of.
What we think of as being positive. So, yeah, I mean, we really just need less complaining, more action, more getting involved. You know, join a group. I mean, besides those groups, my dad was part of the Frogs, the Alphas,
The who?
Yeah.
Y'all gotta stop. Y'all be running against each other in the same race, man. Y'all y'all sure y'all want to do that?
I don't know where that comes from. But he was in the
must have pledged grad, man.
The original 40s club.
They must have went grad, y'all.
I don't know where Ziegler plays at, but Howard, he plays down at Southern Illinois. But yeah, I mean, oops, I forgot what I was saying. But oh yeah, my dad was involved in all those groups because he wanted to be connected, and so I can go all over now. All these people who are dying off, but I can go all over the city, and somebody's going to say to me, yeah, I remember your dad. He would be here and he'd be there. I was doing something with him, and so that was his life. But I just say, you know, if you join one group and you put some energy in it, you're going to make a change for somebody. So we just need to be a part of something. Let's make ourselves the people who get things done. That's why it's hard to elect a black mayor, because you don't have any building blocks when it comes time for the election to create a house when you're trying to do something, because we're not involved as much as we used to. We see ourselves, as people complain about integration, we see ourselves as integrated, and you sit back and say, well, things should just happen for me. Well, no, nothing's going to just happen for you. I have seen instances of white neighborhoods getting together all the time. You know, when they see something that they don't like, they get together in massive numbers. If they decide there's something they want, they get together in massive numbers. And it's a regional thing. It's a small thing. It's not like they say everybody over the city, but if something is affecting Avalon and Calumet Heights, and then they get together and they make some real noise, and they put some pressure on the elected officials from the top to the bottom. Oh, that's what we have to do. I mean, it seems simple when you talk about it, but without it, we are what we are today.
Rise and shine with the WVON Morning Show.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Jackson.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
The WVON Morning Show. Wake up! Call 773-591-1690. Wake up! Hush!
You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Y'all, we got to move on up. We got to do better. I'm telling y'all, I'm tired of us being naive victims in our community ourselves. Sometimes I think we like I think we enjoy victimization.
Yes.
We enjoy being like, what are they going to do?
They call it the murder.
Yep. We've been there. We got our heads knocked in, but we was in the fight. We showed them. We don't take the wins. And so we will take a $25 gift card instead of controlling the whole community. They be like, you know what? Let me tell you how they did. Let me tell you how these white folks did those people over at Barbara Jean Wright. They said at $25 a head, we could buy this whole community, and then we can control all of the development from this side of the thing, which will be billions, because right across the street from Barbara Jean Wright is the Abla Homes, is the Abla space that's about to be 3,500 units. So what those white folks was doing was trying to plant a seed so that they could take a hop over to the new development and stick up all the new developers instead of having them have their own representation. And then the white folks are in control talking to the people with the money, and y'all are talking to the politicians knocking down doors. Yes, I think that is the perfect song. So if you signed up with CHI, this song is for you. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago 1690. Hey, it is the top of the hour. I got to say what's up to the WVON Morning Show team. What's up to Annette Flournoy? What's up to the Wonder Twins? That's Black and Brown Sonia. Wonder Twins, activate. Shape of a radio show. And we got to say what's up to my girl, Sophia Anjam. She'll be joining us shortly as she gives us the final our international correspondent, but we're going to have to figure out how we get her on the show, and we'll be calling back and forth, Sister City. Look, y'all, I'm going to talk about this mayor's race again because I've been looking at these maps. Shout out again to the Chicago Tribune for their coverage and their precinct ward maps. Now, I'm going to tell you, Todd, first of all, I'm going to start here by asking, do you believe that the machine is still alive? And before you... Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Timing, man, timing.
I was going to say before.
Before you answer that question...
Take back what I just said.
No. Think about the fact that the chairman of the Cook County Democratic Party could barely muster up 17% of the vote. The chairman of the Cook County Democratic Party. No, not the president of Water Red, but the chairman of the Cook County Democratic Party could barely get, did she get 20,000? Didn't even get 20,000 votes.
No.
Right? Think about that. Now, divide that by 50 wards. That's 500 votes per, Todd, there's 55,000 people in a ward. I don't know if the machine is still alive. And then let me take it, because this is what the Tribune did. The Tribune went down and they went as far as they did a map that allowed you to look at precinct by precinct who won. Todd, the job of the political committeeman is to turn out the vote. And the committeeman in the machine days controlled the slate or controlled the candidate that they endorsed and delivered. You delivered. Look, guys, it was all about the numbers, right? There was a numbers chart that went from a ward to a county to a state, but every politician looks at the number and they go to precinct by precinct and they say, what did you do for me in your precinct? And then they do it by your ward, and that's kind of how they cut up the pie.
And the committeeman was the most important person in the ward.
But if you were a committeeman and you didn't deliver the vote to the Democratic Party, what happened, Todd?
Well, you could be replaced.
Or you could get, like the way they chop up the goodies is whoever get the most votes, that's where you go first.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Right? Whoever you go where you get the most votes because you want to reward the people that vote. So,
well, actually, it depends on the decade.
Okay.
You know, in theory, that's true. Of course, if it was like anything else in the past, the black wards would get things, but they were restricted. That's the word. You were restricted to what you could do. So your people could get jobs, but they couldn't get the really good jobs because,
Right, you got
they were black.
exactly. So there was still racism, but you got more.
But you got more.
So you wouldn't get the $500,000 jobs. You might get $20,000 jobs. Right. So you could put 10 people to work, and so it was like it maintained caste system. But there was still a. See, I always say there was at least a system that you knew how to play, that you knew how it was supposed to go.
If you had 70 precincts, you knew 70 people in your ward were working for government in some fashion.
Working good too. Now, Todd. So what does it say when the chairman of the Democratic Party can't get over 20% of the vote of the city of Chicago? What does it say when all of the North Side committeemen who endorsed Tony Preckwinkle could not only not deliver their ward, but could not deliver their precinct? What does it mean when these people say, I support you, but they don't have the support of their community?
Right, they can't get it because they can't really communicate with it.
So here's what I'm saying, because I've been watching all these white folks talking about, I'm with Tony, and I'm telling you, Tony's going to have a problem because unlike the black people, the black folks say, we control our vote, and then the black people go do something else. The white folks say, we took a vote, and our ward is going this way, so that's where we're going. Right? And so I'm telling you that if Tony's got a challenge, because all the white folks that's telling them what they gonna do, they can do all the stuff they want. But them white folks up north voted for Lori Lightfoot. Now, Tony Preckwinkle, conversely, and here's the challenge for Tony Preckwinkle, Todd. The places where Lori won and won big, if she didn't win first, she was second.
Yeah.
Right? So when there's no other option, they go to her. But she also, I feel like she has the biggest area to expand into. Mm-hmm. Tony Preckwinkle right now can't go into the white North Shore progressive. Think about this.
And that would be the space that she would depend on if Lori Lightfoot wasn't there.
Exactly. And then she would be kicking us to the curb. But now, if she has any chance of winning, she has to turn out the black vote. Yeah. She has to, and not just turn it out, because as we're leaving, remember, we lost 200,000 people. White folks are moving in. So think about when you live out on the south side in single family homes and apartment buildings, you go up north, you can't park because it's 20 apartment buildings on one block.
Yes.
Right?
I've been through that.
Now check this out. So now, all of these people that's running around here talking about, I got the support of old Pencil Neck Geek. Remember Pencil Neck Paul? Pencil Neck Paul didn't win his ward. He running around talking about, we got this. Hillary, Todd, is the machine still alive?
No, the machine actually has been dead for decades, but people don't recognize it because in the past, when Mayor Daley, first Mayor Daley, was.
Why don't you can you explain when we come back after traffic and the weather? We'll be back. So yeah, like, who all endorsed Tony? Right? If you go through and you look at all those palm cards, them white boys are going to flip on her. They're going to, bro, you can't. So what happens when you lose your ward and your aldermen, committeemen win against Lightfoot? And they already know that they can't make those white folks move. Mm-hmm. Right? So they're all going to be thinking, I got to run for committeeman because committeeman is up next.
Right.
So are you really a committeeman? Like, you are a committeeman right now, not because you run your ward. You are a committeeman because you get elected. Very few people know about the position. You win it, and then you get a seat at the table based on the wave. Yes. You ain't getting a seat because you're delivering. Ain't nobody. Yeah, they have meetings, and they have meetings and send emails to each other. Them people up north are not. You can't tell the people up north. They say, we would like for you to please consider. Black people say, vote for.
Right. Vote for this person.
And so Tony has now, who spent the last 8 years telling everybody outside of the 8th ward, the 6th ward, the 4th ward, and the 3rd ward that they ain't shish.
Yeah, pretty much.
They got nothing coming. They weren't with her. In the
Right. Remember, think about this. Think about them. Remember them businessmen she walked into that meeting with and said, "Oh, I didn't get no money from y'all."
Yep.
Remember them? Remember my job? Remember when you called up to the defender?
Burning bridges is never a good thing in politics.
Remember when you didn't support Commissioner Carey still? Remember when you got that video calling people talk about some, called Dick Durbin and you had, whatever happened? Where are your white lakefront liberals? Where's Deborah Shore? Right? Like, I would think like Deborah Shore should be out front. But how she...
We'll see where Deborah Shore is out front doing.
She gonna be out front for Lori.
That's what I think.
Cause her page, all her people are upset with her. See, Tony is gonna see that before progressive comes LGBT.
That's right.
And she's gonna learn the hard way. So while she was busy trying to cross out the black women, where are your white friends now? How many? I want to see, where did Deborah Shore live and how many votes did she get Tony Preckwinkle? None, apparently, according to these dang on maps. Because if you live anywhere north of Roosevelt, she ain't win no precincts north of Roosevelt.
I'm not surprised.
Outside of 4. I mean, that map was crazy. To look at a precinct, you could see a precinct. And Lori won precincts in University of Chicago. Or was in the second, third, in the 2 spot. Tony Preckwinkle, if she don't come kiss everybody's ring and be like, please, please, we gotta see a on-air apology. We want it on TV. We gotta see her apologize to Todd. Todd, will you forgive me? She gotta say, Todd, will you forgive me? Would you forgive her, Todd?
If you did it on air? Sure, I'm a Christian. But you're right, it'd have to be a public apology. She'd have to be like, look, I was overboard, this was crazy, I got caught up in the moment. I'd say, okay, I can understand that. What are we gonna do for black folks now? That's all that'll do it for me. Well, actually, a county job wouldn't hurt either.
You don't want a county job, you want a county contract, fool. Oh, you're trying to get your...
No, look, man, I'm a pensioner.
Oh. Colors.
Colors.
Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Second, I really hair. Second, scared that I don't care. Game is my game's fair. More flesh, beware.
That's me.
Isn't this just revenge? If you ain't my set, you ain't my friend. Wrong colors, your life could end. Size my favorite bench. Colors. Like a giant police was fired. And I'll say that I came. My autograph, where you can go, and tears my show. Well, ask me why that brutally died, but it was mine. Need to find my territory. Don't cross the line. Don't faze me. It wouldn't amaze me. You are tuned in to Talk Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Sitting in with me is former Cook County Board President. Huh?
We all want peace.
Wow, we all want peace. Colors. All right, so, Brother President, you was talking before we left, and you were leaving off. Were we talking about Tony Preckwinkle giving you a public apology? Or was that on air? Okay. I'm just curious. Like, what does it take? I mean, this is it, cause that's part of the reason I asked the question earlier, right? Because I already know that the Whisper campaign is starting, and so I want to understand Do we believe that the machine still exists? Todd, Tony Preckwinkle cannot win this election.
Not the way it stands so far. I don't think so.
Without black people turning out.
Right.
Not only do they need black people to vote for her, but they need them to turn out.
Did you know what Mike Noonan told me in '92?
Did you say his name on my? Don't say his name on my show.
Well, you know what that guy said.
Saw that clown last night.
On my show. On your show. Forget that.
Our show.
Man,
Go ahead.
Throw me off. You know what he told me in the election for the county was that African Americans, for the majority, only win if they get 92% of the black vote. When it's a one-on-one race, you can't lose more than 8 points, and I can believe that because the North Side will not vote for us in any real numbers if they have an alternative.
And an alternative they do. I mean, so Todd, how does Tony get black people?
She's gonna have to actually go and what is it? Is it mea culpa or whatever that my fault thing is? She's gonna have to go out and actually talk to people and say, look, I know what our problems are. I am working with who and who and who to fix them. We are gonna have infrastructure done here. We're going to
but Todd,
make develop.
Don't you think sometimes like with people it's personal? Like don't sometimes you think like she's offended a lot of people? Like I mean she goes around and writes and like crosses people up.
She's been afraid to burn bridges.
Right, because she's always been the preferred black candidate of white people.
Yeah, I think what she was fooled when she beat me. She thought that
she was special Negro.
Yes, when it was more
Negress.
There was a media campaign against me for 4 years that made me a bad candidate, to be honest with you. But that didn't mean that she was the darling. So she thought she was a darling and didn't have to build, just maintain.
Let's go to the phone lines. Mike, you're on the Talk Chicago 1690.
Good morning, man.
What's up, Mike?
Hey, man, look. And the brother Stroger, how you doing?
Good morning.
Hey, look. You know, after the, I think it was the break before, you actually said what I was going to say. Look, our destiny is in our hands. I've voted for almost 50 years, and I've never had anything from Daddy Daly on through. Whatever's happened has always happened with the complicity of sellout, can't stand up black folks. If we would stand together and do what we need to do, we could control everything that we need in our community. We could take over what we need. But we always had, I think you mentioned the $25 gift card. Back in the 60s, there was $5 in the paper that David used to install our neighborhood with a lot of folks.
Mike, I'm gonna put you on hold because wherever you at, you breaking up real bad. I want to keep your call. I want to hear it. Let's go to Brother Hall. Brother Hall, you're on Talk Chicago 1690.
Yeah, May to President Stroger, what's happening?
What's up, man? Thanks for the palm cards too.
Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons.
You and Brother Lucas, both of y'all, thank y'all very much.
Oh, no problem. That's one of the reasons why I'm calling, brother, is because if you looked at them palm cards, you can see that there's no more structure in terms of, as we know, the Democratic machine, but there is definitely a machine, and I'll tell you why I say that. And the reason why I say that it's not no structure there, because if she's the boss and you go in the 13th ward and these people are carrying somebody else's palm cards, then her being the chair means diddly. Okay, so what I am saying to you, there's a new machine, and that new machine is called SEIU, the Teachers Union, and other type of folk who work against us. See, you see what people fail to do is, oh, we can't say nothing about the Teachers Union. We can't say nothing about SEIU. You know, Mays, just as well as I know, and Todd knows. Mm-hmm. They are the new precinct captains out here, along with some of these chicken-eating preachers. So don't, just like what's going to happen with the Tony piece, y'all saying, well, Tony is not, yes, she's going to have a hell of a time trying to get elected if she don't come to the black community. But not just Tony. We need to also hold Lori Lightfoot's
tail to the community. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
We have 4 aces and the deuces is wild. Have a good day, guys.
Hey, that is Brother Hall. Let me go to McGee. McGee on the Talk Chicago. McGee on the Chicago.
First time caller.
Hey, first time caller.
I would like to know who won the 3rd Ward Alderman job.
3rd Ward was the Dow, Lady Dow. What's up, Mary on the Talk Chicago 1690?
Good morning, Dave. Couple questions. During Lightfoot's victory speech or whatever, if you looked at her headquarters, it was nothing but the white people. And she said that she represented the change. That change that she's representing is very similar to what President Obama he didn't come out and say that was his change, but we saw what kind of change that was. I don't think that's beneficial for black people. Second concern, I was listening to a conservative radio station. I don't know the number. I don't know the show, but they were expressing concern why Daley did not make concessions for Joyce to get him out of the race. And the concession would have been, if you get out of the race, I'll endorse you for State Attorney General Kim Foxx's position, and we'll knock her out of the game. So black people need to realize it's not just Preckwinkle and Lightfoot, because if Lightfoot makes any deals, you never know if it's going to affect other elected black officials. So we need to unite and support. My personal preference is Preckwinkle, but you've got to unite. There's no other way we can win in this situation.
And I'm going to tell you guys, I think that we do need to figure out some sort of uniting. I think that, quite frankly, all the black candidates that ran need to probably have a meeting. But they don't, and I think, here's a challenge.
How do you bring the prodigal son home?
I don't know, but here's what I do think. I think that what's going to happen is all of those individuals that ran are going to posture to say, I had the millennial vote that came out, I had the black vote, when fundamentally they should not be the brokers without talking to the people who are willing to give them their votes. Look, we'll talk about the rest of this when we come back. Talk Chicago 1690. See, the problem is Willie will feel like he is the kingmaker. He is not the kingmaker. He got black votes because he was the choice that we made out of the choices. Right. So to me, he has to come back, and I feel like he can deliver the message, but I feel like there needs to be a convening of the candidates. There also needs to be a convening or a discussion or a town hall with black folks, and kind of with social media and whatever the tools are that we have to be like, yo, let's just talk about this. Let's gauge the discussion, and then let's all try and go in a way and go in a direction for one of the people. The fact of the matter is neither one of them are concerned about, we're not a priority until we make ourselves a priority. What's the list? And give them a list and go from there. I just think that we are doing this all the way bass backwards.
But I think you're right, though. It would show leadership if Willie Wilson said, not that I've got my people, I'm going to tell them to do this, but if he said, I'm going to go back and talk to people, and we're going to talk about the issue, and then I'll give them my opinion, and we'll see what happens. I mean, other than that, I don't.
Well, because see, again,
we can actually do.
Well, and that's the thing. I feel like people feel like their whole thing is, like now, the whole point is, am I going to be the kingmaker?
Right. Everybody wants to be a kingmaker. And I don't see it. People don't follow people like they used to. And part of that is probably the, as you were saying earlier,
class.
There is no machine. There aren't people in your precincts who talk to you every week about issues, what's going on with your house, what's going on in your block. So without that direct connection, there's nobody who really can sway people in the numbers.
I just can't believe she avoided that black so much.
That was a strange thing, wasn't it?
I mean, she went out of her way.
Yeah.
Tell Sophia she can come in.
Yeah, when you go out of your way, everybody sees it. I mean, he asked a specific questions, he answered a different one.
Did you see her post about black about transgender, what happened to transgender people made her more sensitive to Black History Month, and that white privilege. She had a picture of a white lady and said she read books by bell hooks and these people, and that makes her conscious.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's like she's like, if I stay away from Black people, this will be great.
But she can't stay away. I mean, she really can't go up north. I mean, again, who white delivers for her up north at this point? Who is going to be standing up holding Tony's hand up?
Yeah. I don't see anybody.
Who's south? Besides if they don't get Black folks to just be all in, and it's just like it's a Black thing, here's what I say. Without the Black vote, Tony can't win. She can't. If she gets the Black vote, she has a chance to.
Right.
Yes.
It's
not guaranteed because she is not a motivator of people. No. She does not, like, if you ain't a Tony file, right. Yeah. She comes off very hard. I know who Bell Hooks is. But Bell Hooks ain't and first of all, she's a white feminist, a Black feminist, right? Yes, it is very telling. Yes, you're right. You are very right. Okay, guys, Sophia's here. She's back for her last day.
I'm sad.
Now, when do you go back to Pakistan?
Well, tomorrow, hopefully. Tomorrow night.
Oh, okay. Do you go back to Washington first?
No.
Straight from here?
Yeah. So we have one stop in Dubai, and then back to Pakistan.
Hey, Dubai. Are you staying a day, or are you just touched down?
I would love to, because my brother was actually living in Dubai since 1999.
Really? What does he do?
Yeah, he's basically a mechanical engineer.
Ah.
He was also very interested in the internet and software engineering. So he works at Slumberger, but now he shifted to London. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah. Sophia, so are you like part of the rich class in Pakistan?
Okay, that's a very interesting question to ask. With respect to money,
yes,
and education, well, yes, if you put it that way, sure.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what else to say. How to dodge that question?
No, that's not a bad thing. Shoot, don't nobody want to be poor.
That's right. Nobody I know.
So do you have servants?
Well, we do have domestic help. People who are part of the family.
Okay.
Yes. With us.
Do they?
So it's very cheap in Pakistan, right? Same goes for India. Same goes for even Dubai, for that matter. In the UAE, you get a lot of people at a very good price who can actually live with you and work for you at the same time. They can cook, they can clean, they can drive.
Okay.
We had domestic help until I had children.
I thought you were the domestic help. How did you have children?
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Say goodbye. No. Bye. Can you hear? Uncle? Sorry, guys. Something's wrong with my camera. Tell me why is it so? Never can say goodbye. No. Never can say goodbye.
Oh, the door. Around you, fool.
Tell me why is it so? I won't let him go. I never can say goodbye. Oh. I never can say goodbye. No. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Sitting in with me is my man, Ty Stroger. We about to wrap this thing up.
The best time of our lives, Jackson 5.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of the Jackson 5, is anybody watching Finding Neverland this weekend? You know... Okay, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it after we talk about this. But, hey, y'all, check this out. It is 2 reasons that Sonia's playing that song. This is this is my last show right here in the WVON studios on 87th. and 1000 East 87th Street.
87 to 1000.
And I'm going to tell you, I have some memories here. I remember my first real show was Talk It Out with Maze and Monique. Then we got fired.
How many years ago was that?
That was in 2012.
Wow.
So 2012, we did our Thursday night show. We got fired. And I had to live without radio. And then, you know what? I went to social media. We came back. You know what? Shout out to my man, Matt McGill, for the social media question of the day, which, quite frankly, was my life sustenance for a long time because it really gave me the opportunity to get my opinions out. Melody then asked me to be a commentator. I think I stalked everybody at the station, Todd, Melody, everybody I could to get a show. I think I filled in at every segment that there was. There would be people who would say, you know what, you want to do a double? I'll be back. I'll be here. And so I'm just going to say that there are memories here. I'll never forget that hole right there. One day I was here by myself, right? My first time I was broadcasting, and I had come in early in the morning, and Fletcher the cat came out of that hole right there and jumped on the table. And you want to talk about somebody jumping up out this? Alien, huh? I didn't know what the hell it was. And, you know, I don't know if he ever really liked me. You know what I mean? But
I don't know if you liked anybody. He was just like, somebody feed me, I'm going back to sleep.
Hey, Fletcher was, I heard Fletcher was a pro mouser back in his day, boy. I heard he caught every mouse that came out the field in 50. So I just think of all of the memories that are here, and it's hard to say goodbye. Also, speaking of that, you know, this week we have had I have been honored to have a guest here from the country of Pakistan. She's a star in her own country, in her own right. But she came here as part of an exchange program with World Chicago. Shout out to World Chicago for all of the great conversations and people they've brought through. But as part of a media exchange program. And so I just want to give her an opportunity, you know, to say hello, goodbye, share some of your key observations, and, you know, just talk a little bit. So everybody say what's up to Sophia Anjam. She has been my fellow, I'm going to call her my fellow, since for the past week, and she has had the opportunity to see how things run at WVON.
Yeah,
so
she can't be here for Monday to see the news studio.
I know, I would have loved to do that, but well, good morning, Chicago. Assalamu alaikum, everybody.
Walaikum salam.
Well, I love the way that you say that.
I love how you say it, because you don't say it the same way. I thought you were supposed to say assalamu alaikum.
Yeah.
But you say it, you know, you say it so smooth.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the Nation of Islam out there, too.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, you know, here's what I observed, because I was talking to a lot of people here in Chicago, and I love, you know, communicating with them. And I thought, you know what? We're all similar. We all have the same common man problems. Yeah. We're always talking about relationships. We're talking about professional health. We're talking about, okay, so what about the marginalized society? What about people who are not given their rights? It's the same thing back home.
Really?
I think it is because what we feel, we might be different because of the media. Because what the media might portray, that, oh my God, so you are very different from me because you're purple and I'm green and this one's orange. Mm-hmm. But by the end of it all, we're all creatures by God, right? We've been created by God, and we're all the same.
You know, and I think that we have, in some cases, because I think that here in America, black people have some special problems. I think there is a benefit of white skin privilege. And I think that oftentimes here in America, so I think when you talk about food, shelter, basic issues, you know, like life issues, yes. But I think there is a different challenge to being a black person in the United States when you know you could be killed, shot.
You know, I think you're actually wrong. I think for most of the world, it looks just like us. Yeah. There are people of different hues, or a different area, region, who can be easily identified by the group that get the same treatment that we get.
But you know what, I'll also tell you something. So it's not just about here in America. In many different parts of the world also, you would always have certain people who are in the minorities. And they would also feel that they are being targeted because they feel that their rights are not being met. So it's, you know, again, it's the same thing. We can all relate to each other and we all have the same problems.
And sometimes it's a very it's dangerous. Where the majority is like, okay, you made too much noise.
Yeah.
We're gonna roll through you for a minute.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
Well, Sophia, what tell me what are your best experiences since you've been here?
Okay, so when I was coming to Chicago, I was told that this city has the best deep dish pizza in the world.
Okay.
That's what I was told.
We do.
Yeah, so I actually shortlisted a few places, and somebody was like, you have to go to Giordano's for the best deep dish pizza.
I know. I'm not all that big on that.
I know, but it was a popular opinion. So I went to Giordano's,
Okay.
and I loved the way that they served the pizza. It was very cheesy, it was stuffed. So yeah, I enjoyed my experience over there.
Okay.
And then the popcorn is very famous also.
Garrett's.
Yeah, it's right there, right around the corner.
Oh, you went to that Garrett's?
No,
Oh,
I really want to go right after the show's over. I really want to go and try it out.
So you want to go to that one? I'm gonna tell you, go to the one downtown.
Oh yeah, that's closer to where I
Go
live.
to the one downtown. It'll be fresh. It won't be fresher, but I'm telling you, get in quicker and get out quicker, in and out.
Yeah.
Oh, but you could spend the money in the black community. So either way.
Yeah.
Look, Todd's looking at me
I'm
like.
gonna beat Maze up after the show.
And then there's so many things about Chicago. I think it's a big city. And what I love the most about this city is that it is flawed. It's not perfect, but yet it is beautiful. People have their hearts in the right place. It is buzzing. It has great food. It has great energy. You will never get bored if you are in Chicago.
You know what I want to ask you?
Yeah.
What do you think of the lakefront compared to other cities?
Compared to other cities?
That you've been to?
Okay, all right. Well, I feel that it's very diverse in culture. You have so many different people here, and I feel that they're very friendly, is what I've observed, because whoever I was talking to was talking about their problems to me. And I thought that was great, because they weren't really talking about, okay, so this is the major headline, you want to listen to music. It was about that they were sharing their problems with me.
So talk to me about what did you think of Chicago's architecture and skylines?
The skyline is to die for. We are living in an apartment on the 38th floor, which has the greatest view of the city. And every single day, I just don't want to get out. I just don't want to get out of that view. It's beautiful. Apart from that, I think the culture is beautiful because it has character. There's character in the buildings. It's old school. And I think it's worth it. You have to be here for sure. Chicago is the way to go.
And nobody, you didn't get attacked by anybody at 20 below degrees.
Nice, yeah.
No, and I'm saying we just don't want you. Jussie Smollett besmirched us last week.
But can I tell you something? So when I was coming to Chicago, you know how it is when everybody has certain preconceived notions about a country or a city.
Yes.
They were like, okay, you have to be very careful. The street crime is a lot there, and so just be careful. Don't go out alone. You're a girl and all of that. So I had to note down all the points. But I was thinking, hey, you know what? That can happen anywhere in the world. No. I mean, no place is safe, is it?
No, not completely.
Right, not anymore, unfortunately. So yeah, I think it's.
Hey y'all, that is Sophia Anjan. Now I'm gonna tell y'all, she is world famous. We are glad to have her here. When we come back, we're gonna wrap this show up. It's the WVON Morning Show. It's our last broadcast of the morning show from 87th and Dobson. We'll be back.
Okay, so we're also live here in Pakistan, Maze. Let's go read out some messages for you.
What up, Pakistan?
Okay, Mahar Jangir says, good evening to you from Pakistan.
What's up, Mahar Jane? What's up, man? How you feeling?
Amjad Ali says, I can hear you, I can see you. This is such a sweet moment.
What's up, dog? I'm telling you, it was a great time. We are happy to have her here, and hopefully you all will check us out, and we're going to check you guys out.
All right, Rizwan Qureshi is tuning in again. Remember last time also he was tuning in. He's an RJ, he's a host.
What's up, RJ? You tuning in? I'm telling you, the show is addictive. You're going to be stuck every morning. You're going to be waking up listening to the WVON Morning Show.
Hey, Maze, you're welcome. You have to come to Pakistan. Let us entertain you.
Man, I'm trying to come to Pakistan. We're going to kick it, and I'm going to let you entertain me. I'm going to tell you, if I come to Pakistan, I'm going to turn it out.
Fantastic. Uzi Sharif is watching, and she's based out of the States, but she's also has her roots in Pakistan, and she's also watching right now.
What's up, Jose Sharif? How you feeling, sis?
Okay, fantastic. And a lot of people are saying really nice things to you in their native language, which is Urdu, so they're welcoming you, showing you flowers and hearts and all of that.
All right, people, peace. So this is the Chicago shout out. What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling? This your man, Maze Jackson, all the way from the shot. That's right, Chicago, Illinois. I'm kicking with my girl, Sophia, but I'm so honored that you all are tuned in all the way from Pakistan. So I want to send a big shout out to everybody. I want to make sure all y'all know that I'm going to ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if they don't like it, you know what you can tell them? See what my hat say?
May.
You can tell him May said. I even got a hat that say the same thing.
Woo! Okay, Rizwan Qureshi is very happy after the shout out. He says thank you, and then he's like, whoa, love your energy.
I'm trying to keep up, man. I'm trying to keep up.
Okay. All right. As for the rest of you, kya chal raha hai? What's going on? How is everybody doing? Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you for the love, and welcome to Pakistan, my friend. Well, I hope that, you know, we were hosting the show in Pakistan, but right now we are in Chicago as we speak, but we're hoping, inshallah, that we'll be calling these guys to Pakistan very soon. I'm just
Mary, we coming back to the paying for votes. That's next week. I'm sorry.
Okay, teach him or make him say something in Urdu or Punjabi. Yes, I actually taught him that, but I think it's a good idea. I think it's time for us to do that.
What happened?
So
They want you to speak in
you have to. Okay, remember you were making dance moves, like you were, you know, dancing and all of that. Okay, I want you to do make a dance move which is pertaining to our culture.
Okay.
Which is bhangra.
Okay.
Okay, or in Punjabi we call it pangra. What
Bangla.
Pangra.
Bangla.
Pangra pao.
Bangla pao.
Pangra pao.
Bangla pao.
Okay, okay, but not like this.
Okay.
You have to do it like this.
Bangla pao. Okay, I have no rhythm. Bangla pao.
Pangra pao.
Bangla pao.
Okay, there you go.
I think I may have seen that
That's
in
fine,
Bollywood.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm your big fan. This is Berkat Ali. Hello.
Hey.
Hey, Sophie.
Sophie, they want to know, Salim Muwakil wants to know, what's up with the nuclear standoff?
Okay, so right now what's happening in India and Pakistan is that we have successfully managed to hand over the Indian Air Force pilot back to India, right? So that is what we have done so far, which is, well, according to Pakistan, that was a peace gesture, but, you know, the Indian media have been saying that it is according to the Geneva Convention. Whatever the case is, it is all about peace. So from now on, I think it's going to be de-escalating, hopefully.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
I wanna be free, so I'm letting you fly. Knowing my heart, babe, our love won't ever die. No, you'll always be a part of me. Gonna with you indefinitely. Oh, don't you know you can't escape me? Ooh, darling, 'cause you'll always be my baby. It will linger on. Strong, oh, when we don't even hold a straight me. Oh, darling, 'cause you'll always be my baby. Do do do, do 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 do. I ain't gonna cry, no. I will beg you to stay. It will tell me to leave, girl. I will not stand in your way. What inevitably you'll be back again. 'Cause I know in your heart, babe, our love won't ever end. No, you'll always be a part of me. I know indefinitely. Boy, don't you know you can't escape me? Ooh, darling, 'cause you'll always be my baby. I will linger on. Oh, won't you never go and shake me? You, darling, 'cause you'll always be my baby. I know that you'll be back, girl. When your days and your nights get a little bit colder. Oh, I know that you'll be right by. Baby, believe me, it's only a matter of time. You are tuned into the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Sitting in with me is former Cook County Board President Todd Stroger and Sophia Anjam.
Yeah, we were saying, I don't know that song.
You don't know Always Be My Baby? Okay.
Mariah Carey?
That is the Mariah Carey jam.
That's why I don't know it.
Hey, man.
Mariah, don't get along.
Mariah, you know.
Very popular, though.
Hey, man.
Really popular.
You know, let me stop. I was.
Nick. No.
All right, y'all. So, look, when we come back. So, first of all, let me say that we're going to continue to talk about this vote buying because I think we got to get a little bit deeper into this CHI. But I want to have a moment of, I want to spend these last few minutes just spending some time here with WVON right here at 87th 1000 East 87th, where I got my first opportunity to be an on-air personality. And although we will be moving to a newer, more modern location, sometimes you just appreciate the good old days.
It's so
hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Ooh, and I'll take with me the memories. Be my sunshine after the rain. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Hey, y'all. This is the WVON Morning Show, and I'm going to tell you what. There's been history made right here in these seats, in these halls. Hopefully, at the new spot, I'll get my picture on the wall sometime.
Well, new beginnings, but I can so relate to that because we recently changed our station as well. In FM 91. So we have been working there for a long time. Unfortunately, there's a fire that erupted at our station. So it was crazy, and we had to rebuild the station, but we just shifted. So I can completely relate to the feeling of shifting to a brand new station.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what, though. I can't wait to get some high-speed internet.
Yeah,
right.
for sure.
I can't wait to get some.
And some good coffee.
Oh, and some good coffee. Let me tell you, we can walk. We're going to have to change up our pattern. Look, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all what. We got a mayor's race. That, you know what? I see 2 calls. Let me take y'all 2 calls before we get out of here. If anybody wants to say bye to the studio, y'all more than welcome to call and say bye to the studio. Jay, you want to talk Chicago 1690 real quick?
Mays Todd, in the spirit of no permanent enemies but convenient interests, I have an open community request to Ms. Preckwinkle from her jilted black constituents to see if have half a chance. Ms. Preckwinkle, you are correct. Ms. Lightfoot was appointed by Daley and Rahm, and at the same time that if you lose, you will still maintain your position. However, if you win, you have a position right now to do what Brock Gordon could have done, but he didn't do rightly, is to appoint Todd Stroger, apologize to him, as your commissioner. And we may forgive you for this.
She gonna have to do more than apologize to Todd for us to forgive. But that's at the start. Like, when you got a ring, we gotta get you a ring, man.
Oh, a pinky ring?
Nice that she kiss your ring. Hey, Sharon, you want to talk Chicago 1690?
I'm so sad to see you leaving, but you've been wonderful to listen to.
Thank you. I'm gonna still be at WVON.
Oh yeah, well, I'm gonna still be listening.
All right then, that's what I'm talking about, Sharon. You had me nervous. I was like, you know something I don't know?
No, I just want to say that I am gonna vote for Tony, and I do believe that young lady was put there by Daley and Rob. There's a lot of things that are not coming out called Truth Finder. It is coming out, and I will be a foot soldier out there. I love my people, and I'm going to be out there.
Thank you, Sharon. I think that I don't think that there's any of us really that don't love our people. I think, Sonia, could you play my clip one more time? Because I think the challenge becomes when people don't love us. Black folks are always happy to extend the love. We are the most forgiving people in the world.
Oh yes.
And
I've been in movies since the 30s.
Right. But when they give you a layup like this.
Chicago will have its first African-American woman mayor. Is there a special meaning in that for you?
When I got elected alderman of the 4th Ward, I was the first woman elected to that office. When I got elected president of the county in 2010, I was the first woman elected to that office. So I've been breaking glass ceilings for a while.
When you have the opportunity to assist,
that's like when I go up with my left hand and it bounces off the rim and doesn't go in.
Oh, you go up with your left?
Oh, yeah, I love my left.
So the challenge becomes, if you know you need black folks, then you got to start acting like you need black folks. You got to acknowledge black folks. This ain't no all lives matter situation, sis. If you don't get black votes, you don't get to be the mayor. The white folks ain't changing up.
Yeah.
So all I'm suggesting is, for all of us, we need, if we gonna make a decision, black folks, we gotta make the best decision for us. Look, I gotta say, for Annette Flournoy in the newsroom, for Miss Sonia Escobar and Miss Sonia Tompkins, the Wonder Twins, activate. For Sophia Anjam, who's been here with us all week, internationally, she's our new international correspondent. We'll be hearing from her in the future.
Absolutely.
For Todd Stroger, former president of the Cook County Board. I am Mays Jackson, the host of the WVON Morning Show. I'm going to tell you, I've been here since 2012 in different capacities, from filling in to actually finally being the host of the morning show. And I'm going to tell you that even as we move on to bigger and better things, I would not trade the memories that we created and the history that we created right here in this station. So, for all of us, to all of you, on Monday, we'll see y'all. We'll still be back here. Might have a little different background, but we still will be the voice of the nation, the voice of the Negro. That's right, and if you don't like it, you can tell them, May said, we out of here. Peace.
The talk of Chicago and the voice of the nation.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank
Just to give a little bit of perspective to everybody who's watching this right now, so this is basically, this has been their station for a long time, as Mays was mentioning also, that he's been hosting shows since 2012. And the thing is that today's their last day at the station. They would be shifting to downtown, so let's just read out some messages also. I was doing the practice, been very useful for me. After that, I've been to UK for 6 years and senior today after a very long time, feeling great. Majid Abbasi, he says, hi Sophie, I'm your old listener back in 2010 when you were icing at F91. I learned English and improved when I listened to your 91 program. That is amazing to know, Majid. You're making us proud. All the best to you. Congratulations. Thank you for reading my message. This is Amjad. Okay, that's great. And hi, how are you? This is Mia Ali. I am Pakistani. I'm also a radio presenter at FM95. That's great. Hi, how are you? I'm doing well. Love Pakistan and its people. Love for Mays Jackson. Lots of hearts, lots of wishes.
Ty, we got to go to Pakistan and broadcast live.
Yeah, and people love your Punjabi Bhangra. Yeah, they loved it. It's Khan is doing Sophie, miss you. I miss you too. I miss all of my listeners. Inshallah, I'll be back very soon to be hosting live shows for you. But it was great to be here. A big shout out to WVON and also to Todd, to the entire team, and especially to Mays Jackson. He's the man. And we will be back with you guys very soon. Take good